This episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast is a jam-packed one. We're going to be talking about all the excitements, disappointments, but mostly disappointments from E3. We're going to be talking about the ninja impersonator, literally ninjaing his way into various arenas, the ear-licking meta, which is not a sentence I ever thought I'd had to say on this show, and more. But before we do that, this episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. If you're listening to this live or on the Friday that it releases, that means Father's Day is just about 72 hours away, and you fucked up because you didn't order him some Manscaped products like we told you to last week. However, if you don't think Pops will mind getting his gift a bit late, then don't worry, Manscaped has got you covered as always, and with a new product to boot. Introducing the Ultra Smooth Package, which is a specialized groin shaving kit to help you buff, protect, and smooth your most sensitive areas. I'm talking about the new Crop Shaver, Crop Exfoliator, and Crop Gel. It's time to crop that bush of yours and get right to the roots with a discount just for you. You already know that you're going to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code WGG, but let me tell you a little bit more about how smooth you're going to get. This is from the same legends who introduced the electric ball hair trimmer, and now they now have the razor that's set to get you trimmed front to back. That's a really detailed description, a really vivid image. The Manscaped Ultra Smooth Package is a 3-step kit to make your package the perfect package. Say it with me, boys. Perfect package.
Can I get an ear-shaped microphone to do this? The perfect package.
So this is a 3-pot system. We get the Crop Exfoliator, the Crop Gel, and the Crop Shaver, so your groin's going to be feeling refreshed. You're going to have nice essential oils like a spa treatment every time you shave. And the Crop Shaver itself was designed for shaving the groin area with confidence. 3 precision blades include 1 extra wide lubricating strip and a pivoting head for the ultimate groin grooming experience. You know, we all like pivoting head.
Yes.
The Crop Shaver.
I can go for some pivoting head right now.
Listen.
I can go for some riveting head right now.
Oh, riveting, tomato.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so the Crop Shaver is not your average razor. It's smaller and thicker.
It's an A1 ad read.
With a micro comb bar that allows for the best shave possible from any angle. You can line up your nuts if you want to. So it's time to get up close and personal with the best tools for the job. The Ultra Smooth Package from Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with promo code WGG at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with promo code WGG at manscaped.com. Now enjoy episode 237 of Not Another Gaming Podcast.
Fight!
Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. It is your boy, Papa Dom. We're live and direct, back at it once again like we never left for episode 237 of Not Another Gaming Podcast, the most dangerous podcast on the internet. And of course, first of all, before we even do anything, what does Steve mean that wasn't the right one? What does he mean that wasn't the right one? That was the one we got.
That was one I have.
Maybe they sent more than one.
That was the
one
right
I have.
Oh my God. There was an
Whatever.
updated one.
Hey,
all right, we're doing it live.
This is a patchwork episode. We're literally patching everything together.
We're doing it. Listen, we got a patch to deploy.
God damn it. I thought I was doing something.
You know what? Be grateful that we had it on there. I had to get here 2 hours early to get Chris to set it up. And live in the chat right now, Steve, who spent a day on the intro that you just saw, the new sexual video intro. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to everybody in the chat right now. But listen, we'll get the updated one next week. Send it again. I blame Chris. I'm not at fault here.
That's an easy way to go about it.
I got here specifically just to direct traffic. With the
Okay, it was my fault. I mean, it slipped my mind that there was a new one.
All right then.
But it's a step in the right direction.
It was still fire. It was still fire.
It was still fire. I can't wait to see the next one next week. So you guys are gonna have to tune in next Thursday to see the updated intro.
Oh, maybe we just did this on purpose just so we could keep, little tease there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, when he's not fucking up intros or keeping your favorite reporters, bloggers, tweet deckers, and everybody else you hold dear in a fucking chokehold and beating them to the punch on all the gaming in esports and ear-licking news that you care about, he can be found right here in the studio with his pals, crushing a couple blue cokes, as they're called.
Yeah.
Doing the damn thing. My friend and yours, Chris P. What's good, baby?
I'm doing good. I let a friend down tonight. I let someone down. Their hard work. I just completely forgot.
I don't fully blame you.
So this podcast, I'm just not going to say anything. I
Chris,
think that's for the best.
I'm going to defend you on this. I don't fully blame you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so
I don't think it's fully your fault. I think there were a lot of moving parts.
Yep.
Okay. We're how fucking ridiculous is it that we live in a day and age, 2021, right, where you log out of one.
Speed, the tallest and the lankiest.
Oh, you know what? There's no there's no audio piece on the fucking zoomed in ones, so that when I zoomed in, you couldn't hear a fucking word you guys were
So
saying.
do we have to start over?
I mean, we don't have to just stay zoomed out. We'll
just stay zoomed out. You know what?
Well, no, the podcast is going to have no audio.
No, it has audio as long as we're. So right now, what we have up right now, we have the wide shot. So we have the fucking hot dog glizzy fucking angle down below the table. You can see all of our hot dogs. I really wish that wasn't there. I don't want people staring at my knees and taking pictures of them.
But what I'm saying is,
masturbating to them later.
Dom zoomed in a couple times on like that,
Which is going to kill the audio from the stream, and I'm going to download that from the stream.
Yeah, we lost. Yeah, we lost audio for like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
it happens.
You know what?
Run it back.
Just fucking go. We're here now. What was that? What the fuck was that? Oh, I was talking about how Streamlabs has lost like all of our fucking scenes going back and forth, which is why we keep running into fucking issues like this. So logging back in and out between our Twitch and Dexerto's Twitch, we keep losing scenes, and we're trying to figure out a way to fix it. We haven't figured it out yet, which is why we keep running into hiccups. So I don't fully blame Chris.
I blame Streamlabs.
I blame Streamlabs.
And I've been told that we cannot call it Dexerto anymore.
Deserto.
It's not.
It's Deserto. So
I
apparently,
apologize, my British bloke.
it's been disrespectful that we've been saying that, but we've never been corrected until this weekend.
That is actually true. Mike laughed when we were saying that on the podcast. So
I thought it was fucking normal.
Who's to blame?
Them.
100% for enabling
Not
us.
us. I'm not going to take blame for this. Are you fucking crazy?
You let us joke about it and then hired us.
Yeah. I mean, what the fuck?
But
You're rewarding us for our discrepancies.
Deserto is going to be the way we pronounce it moving forward, because that's how it is pronounced, Deserto. But I just a little heads up before the pot boils over. But of course, just to finish up the introductions, my next co-host, a man whose backlog pile is only rivaled by the pile of fucking fiats that he leaves in his wake after no less than 1,000 curls each. The most positive man to ever walk this earth, but also a man who has never watched anime ever in his entire life. Dr. Bob, how we doing?
Not once. I'm doing okay.
I was going to leave it.
It's been another. Yeah, they get hot dog cam this week.
Hot dog cam.
Yeah, the below the waist hot dog cam. That's not good. People are gonna catch us adjusting ourselves under the table all week.
And then all hands above the table the whole time.
Hands above the table at all times.
Like just.
This has been another. I had 3 weeks worth of headaches in the first 2 days this week.
Nice.
Quite literally.
Nice.
I ran into so many work issues in Monday and Tuesday of this week. It would equate to 3 weeks worth of fucking headaches. Like an average 3 weeks worth of headaches. So I'm fucking just barely hanging on at this moment in time.
Just by a thread.
Yeah, literally.
By a thread.
But yeah, by the small sinuous threads that are still holding my knees together at this point after surgery.
Jan.
Speaking of threads, go to our store that is hosted on Threadless.
Hey,
and buy a t-shirt.
buy some threads. There's some new ones up there.
We're currently leasing out a TV from Rent-A-Center, and they're going to come repo it at any time. So please. For God's sake.
My dog is stopping, please.
So while we talk about, all the shit that you care about, before we get into all this beautiful gaming news, all the real hard-hitting journalism that you've come to expect from this podcast with absolutely positively zero technical difficulties ever in our history of being on the internet, why don't we get into a little weekend recap?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
All over the place.
We lit! This is the worst podcast we've
What
ever
is
done.
going on today?
We have a reason why we're so delayed.
Because
We're so
Mercury
sluggish.
is in Everglades. That's why.
Because Jupiter is in Lemonade this week.
Fuck.
But also because Chris and I got fucking shit-faced this weekend, and
What did you guys do? Just switch around all the buttons?
We're still mentally
No,
recovering.
my brain, all the buttons switched.
Yeah, the buttons and the neurons just aren't firing today.
I mean, what do you want? I recovered. It was 50-50. I was wrong. So
Dude, Streamlabs is in fucking Gatorades right now, and that's how...
Dude, this podcast is in Marmalade right now.
Oh, my God.
Did we already say Escalade?
Yeah, I said Escalade.
Oh, fuck.
I think I said Everglades, actually. So Escalade.
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah, I
didn't say
mean,
Escalades.
this live event is currently in Escalades right now.
Yeah. So I'll start off with my weekend if you guys
How
go
was
with
it?
that.
I mean, what would you do?
So
Seriously, what the fuck did you do?
So my weekend was great. We did a watch along with Deserto.
Yep.
So it was myself, Bob, and Mike. Obviously, you had prior engagements. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
But we ended up watching the YouTuber versus TikToker boxing event, which let me tell you,
Surprisingly went well.
it was electric. It was actually very, very fun to watch. After whatever 2 dozen drinks, the night kept going on. We watched the UFC fights for a little while. Did a watch along for that. All in all, got pretty banged up. Did not feel good the next day, but it was good. It was a success, and I had a lot of fun. Probably ate too much Taco Bell. Way too much Taco Bell, like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Probably wasn't the best move in the world.
Also, Mike, I'm sending you that invoice at some point this week.
Yeah, thank you for the food.
Yeah, thanks for the Taco Bell.
But yeah, that was the highlight of my weekend. Besides, I saw Dom. I went out for a couple drinks with young Keys' birthday. Dom's brother Keys.
Shout out to him.
Shout out Keys. Had a couple drinks. Had a night. I mean, I shouldn't say a couple drinks. Had a fucking night. And yeah, that was really fun too. But that was my weekend. Dom, how was your weekend?
I feel like on Monday was just like, I just need to keep going. I just need to have a beer and just level myself out.
That is terrible.
Because Sunday I felt absolutely demolished. I felt absolutely terrible. So Friday night, we celebrated my little brother, Keys, aka Keys TV. He turned 25 on Saturday. But Saturday, there was a big UFC card to watch, and he's a big MMA guy. So I was like, you know what? Don't let me stop. I'm just going to be a distraction in the background. I'm just going to be asking you questions. And I don't want to go see a Star Wars movie with somebody who's going to ask me questions the entire time. Fair. So I'm I'm just going to distract you. So you go watch a UFC card, which with your MMA buddies, and enjoy that to the fullest. But let's get drunk on Friday for your birthday. And he was like, all right, let's do that. So, we were just we'll do a low-key night, we visited my good pal Jeff at his new cocktail bar, a nice little speakeasy. You can't even, there's no sign for it on the street. You got to know somebody to get in there, which
was sick.
Which was awesome.
They let you in through the back door. Really cool.
A couple cocktails in, Chris showed up, which was great. Dressed to the nines, in the same hoodie that he's wearing right now.
At least it's not the same gray sweatsuit that he wore all fucking weekend.
True.
No, that's my tomorrow outfit.
Yeah. So that was great. We had a couple drinks. We went to 3 different places, and didn't feel awesome the next day. We actually had probably the scariest Uber ride of our lives.
Bro, I forgot about that.
So let me just paint the picture here. So all of us, we're on our second place, going to our third. I call myself an Uber, and I get a phone call from the Uber driver 15 minutes later that says your Uber driver's almost here. And he says, where are you guys going? And he asked the town that we were going to, and I was like, that's kind of an odd question because the app tells you that.
Yeah.
But I was like, we're going here.
It gets worse, Bob.
Bob, I promise. This is
that
not even a fucking eighth of it.
That is red flag immediate.
It was
immediate red
Wait till you hear this one.
Wait, so he goes, are you going to this town? And I said, well, as the app would tell you, yes. And he goes, okay, I'm a little tired, and this is probably going to be my last ride. And I go, okay. Well,
red flag number 2.
That's great. Are you picking us up or no?
Yeah,
like, you
where
can
are
cancel
you?
the ride. That's fine. Where the fuck are you? And he goes, oh yeah, I'm coming right around now. I'm just, I'm tired. And I go, all right, cool. Thank you for the heads up. So we, we're about a dozen drinks deep already. So we get in the Uber.
Can I just make the call now?
Yeah.
He was on drugs.
I don't know. We don't. The jury is still out on that, and so we get into the Uber, and it seemed fine. We were going up the highway, but once we got closer to our destination, we got into like this main street, and he started slowing down, really slow, and was like veering very slowly into the lane. I'm like, I take Ubers to not do this.
Yeah.
This is the type of driving I take Ubers to fucking avoid. I almost ducked and rolled. We were literally Chris looked at me and was like, should we just jump out?
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck to do.
Should we just jump out?
The guy was going 5 miles an hour.
Dead serious. My fucking right-handed God, all accurate accounts. He was going 5 miles an hour. And then the car in front of us was probably about 45 feet in front of us. And he stopped short on his brakes in the middle of the street.
He fell asleep. He was literally
absolutely nodding off at the fucking wheel. Was going like stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. And we're a 2-minute walk from our destination. I go, we could just get out here. 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 And he was literally just kept fucking driving, pulls into the parking lot, and I go, we're gonna just hop right out. Don't worry about it. And we said to him no less than 90 times, get home safe. Please get home safe. Please, for the love of God, please get home safe.
Dude, when you were in the car, you said to him, like, when it started happening, you were like,
you okay?
You good, brother? And he just ignored you.
Yeah, he didn't say anything.
He was nodding off. 100% nodding off.
100% was nodding off. And I was like, what the flying fuck? Like, it didn't even really dawn on me until the next day because, green tea shots. Like, it didn't click until Kevin texted me the next morning and goes, what the fuck was that Uber ride? And I go, oh my God. What was that Uber ride? And
you could have got a refund. You should have got a refund.
Yeah, but I didn't want to. Well, there was a thing.
Oh, you don't want to risk his job.
I didn't want to torpedo this guy's fucking career. Like if that's his only source of income.
Well,
but
I mean, you got to look at it this way. How likely is he to potentially do that to somebody else in the future?
Right. I messaged on the app and was like, I hope you got home okay. Because if you can message them if you lose something.
Yeah.
I don't my moral compass in that point is more so.
Yeah.
If this guy's gonna fucking risk people's lives, I would rather.
We didn't get I don't know if this was a tiredness thing or if it was an actual substance thing, but it was either way. It was kind of fucking scary. I'm still considering putting a report in. I really don't know, but I was literally. Nora goes, Dom's laying in bed thinking about the Uber driver. Text me when you get home, BB. That was basically me.
Dom texted him this morning saying, do you still think of me like I think of you?
Do you still think of me like you thought about fucking not taking my ride? Because I wish you didn't. I'm still considering reporting it. I don't want to get the dude fucking fired or whatever. But I don't know. It was just a fucked up situation. But anyway, that night was crazy. Next morning, I could not, unfortunately, attend the streamers boxing event, which seemed like it was an absolute fucking blast. I got to tune in for just a couple of minutes. We had to throw a surprise party for my mother-in-law for her 70th birthday, so that was great. So big HBD to her, pulled off a surprise without a hitch. And that was excellent. And then we went out for drinks with, my wife's side of the family afterwards and got, we tied one on for the second night in a row, and it was irresponsible. You drink
more than anyone I've ever met.
I don't drink that much. It's the thing. Only on the weekends. I don't really drink during the week.
For some reason, you could you have the drinking
in one. Yeah, at my capacity, I have
not that.
Yeah,
that. Days in a row is what I mean. It makes no sense. I used to do that when I was in high school. Now I'm one day and I'm literally in bed for 2 days. You day boom boom. You just said at the beginning I had a drink Monday. You didn't have to.
Well, it was Dungeons and Dragons night, so I usually have a beer anyway.
Beer? You had one beer?
Yeah.
I'd argue it's easier to cope when you shampoo the next day.
I'm a big hair of the dog guy.
Yeah, instead of like popping a fucking Tylenol.
I'm a big hair of the dog guy. So Sunday I did not drink. I did not have a drink on Sunday.
Hero, wow, proud
because it was my nephew's 6th birthday party, and I got this Pikachu tattoo that won't come off. I've showered fucking 5 times since I got this, and the Pikachu temporary tattoo won't come off. So I think it's permanent, and I'm considering getting it permanently applied. But that was great. We played Pokemon cards. We played with Super Soakers. It was a great time. 6th birthday party. It was one for the books.
So lit.
Fucking
Bangers all weekend. So yeah. But that was all I got. Bob, how was your weekend? Get any scary Uber rides?
No. Actually, not this weekend, but the weekend beforehand when I was going up to Stella's to watch the Bruins game. My driver was pushing like 95 going up Route 1. Like,
that's service right there.
Like fucking Fast and Furious just weaving in.
I would have said relax, Dom Toretto.
Dude, it's because he showed up like 20 minutes late and 2 people canceled before me. And I was just like...
He was probably like, I'm trying to make up for lost time. He lives his life 1/4 mile at a time.
Yeah, well, I was living mine one fucking half a breath at a time in every third heartbeat. But so Friday, hung out with a lady. Saturday was the event. We got fucked up. I'm pretty sure we came close to finishing 30 beers total. Like we had 10 left over from the 12 rack, and then we cleared the top rack of the 30. So we were over 25 beers.
Yep.
Casual.
Checks out.
We got fucked up.
Mike drank till the sun came up. He flashed like what it was in his office.
Yeah, it was fucking midday.
And it was like there's people like walking to go get coffees and shit. Mike's fucking shotgun and salsas.
Warrior.
He's yelling at
That's my boss.
He's yelling, what are you guys scared? You don't want to shotgun with me? And we're like, Mike, we will, but isn't it like 5 a.m. for you? Yeah, whatever. But yeah, got fucked up. That was actually like surprisingly a decent boxing card.
It was.
For a bunch of fucking nobodies.
It was.
Boxing nobodies. It was not that bad. It was actually more entertaining than a lot of the other fights we've watched. Sunday, stayed in bed till fucking 4 o'clock, got out of bed for 2.5 hours, and then immediately got back in bed. And that's it. Also, I watched the entire first season of Kingdom in a night and a half.
Gotta watch that.
And it is fucking incredible.
And speaking of watching stuff, I do want to throw this out to everyone listening and us at the table if we forgot. Dave, Little Dicky Show Season 2 came out today.
I never watched the first season. I heard it was really good.
It's really fucking
I can't wait.
good.
I'm going to watch the first season, first episode as soon as I get back in bed.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah, it's so goddamn good. Oh my God. I can't wait to see that. I forgot it was coming back. Great to hear from everybody. Just great to see you,
Good to see you.
I, for one, have played a couple of video games in the last week. I've been playing a lot of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Still loving it. I'm taking my time. Very slow burn. I've got like over a dozen hours in Mass Effect 1, which I think every other playthrough of that game, I have rushed it because I wanted to get to Mass Effect 2 because it was better. But Mass Effect 1 is so fucking good now, and it's so like tuned up and actually like there's just so much more to it. And the game, the actual like combat mechanics have been tuned up to the point where it's actually enjoyable to play the side missions and whatnot. And I can like really dig in and dive deep into it, which is great. But there was a lot of other shit that happened. And before we talk about video games, because we're going to do a lot of talking about video games, I wanted to talk about something that's even more important, especially to the culture of this podcast and especially everything that we stand for, which is licking plastic ears on Twitch. Now,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Could you speak closer to the microphone for me?
Could we get some saran wrap to put? I really don't want to lick this thing, but
because Bob's beard's been rubbing on it at some point.
Licking plastic ears on Twitch. I'm gonna cut that part out. But fuck, JB, fuck.
I got half a beer left.
How many you got in your fridge?
Good amount.
Christ almighty. All right, we'll get it in a second. Thank you, JB. Appreciate you. Thanks for the 15,000 channel points to make us chug a beer.
Tom, you were the one who made these.
Science was so concerned with whether or not it should or could, I'm fucking done.
Maybe we have to go back to the drawing board on these ones.
Hey, you guys all have access to the fucking Twitch account. You can edit these too. You could have made it 100,000.
Yeah, but like it's our channel points, I think there has to be a collaborative meeting of the minds on what we want to do with this.
I don't care what we do with it.
I say we bump it down to like 200.
Oh, okay, Mister. I can drink once a month now.
Oh, relax. I think I'm still in high school, but I'm 45.
I know.
Keep going. Yeah,
I had sucked in high school. I was way better afterwards.
Did you suck in high school? Hey.
What are people sucking now, Chris, on Twitch?
So
how's that for a segue?
Very good. That's why I set you up for it. So as of, I believe yesterday, I looked into it. The ASMR category for viewers this week or watch hours this week has surpassed the hot tub section.
No.
The ASMR section had 2.1 million hours watched this week, while the hot tub section had 1.8. And what the new thing is, which isn't even that new, but we're calling it new because a lot of streamers are jumping on. Yeah, no, it's not new, but there's some people that are jumping over and doing it now, like Amaranth and Indie Fox, who are the bigger creators, if you want to call it that, in the hot tub streaming category. So what it is now is they're calling it the air licking TikTok yoga pants meta. And for the people that don't know, there were these TikTok yoga pants that went viral.
Big bet.
On TikTok, and it makes people's asses look great.
Yeah.
And what they do is they either like bend down in front of the camera, like get in a position where you can see the yoga pants, and they do ASMR, but with like mouth noises. Majority of it being licking. Yeah, licking and like tapping and like, I don't know.
There was no tapping.
Sometimes they do. So, like while they're looking, they like, I can't even, they like tap the back of it. I don't know. I was like, wait
again? You're just trying to do it at the same point.
Yeah. But what the fuck was I saying? I just lost my mind. So that's the current meta on Twitch where people are trying this out, and it's weird. I'm not an ASMR guy, and I'm not knocking anyone that likes ASMR because obviously there's an audience for it. But when you have streamers incentivizing their subscribers with 10 seconds of eye contact and 30 seconds of licking and farting for a subscriber goal, what the fuck?
300 subs to fart.
300 subs to fart.
And you got to do it on command.
Okay, that honestly, it's impressive.
Well,
it's harder than chugging a beer.
Medically speaking, some women are capable.
Yeah. And some men are as well.
But not back farts.
Like I know Pete, if you literally said to Pete fart right now, he'll fart 10 times in a row.
Cole,
it's insane.
Cole Cash 56 said, how much for Bob ASMR of him rubbing his beard on the mic?
It hurts. I'll be dead honest. It actually
gets caught.
Yeah, it gets caught.
But like $50.
Yeah. Okay. So
buy me an ear mold for a microphone and I'll do it.
Oh.
In closing, how do we feel about this? Me personally, I find it weird. The word meta can literally come into play when multiple people who are bigger creators on the platform decide that's what they're going to do.
Right. And that's gonna influence what other people do.
And you know that they've talked on the side because it all happened at the same moment. Like Amaranth and Indie Fox at the same moment. The next day that we're doing that.
I thought they had beef at one point.
Well, I mean, they're competitors.
Yeah, they're in the same fucking. This is
So
MJ and Kobe.
why zig?
Kobe and LeBron.
Why zig when your competition is zigging? Why not zag when your competition's zigging?
Maybe
What if they can do it better?
It was
Oh, I mean,
competition.
fair, but if you're literally competing for that like difference of 20,000 viewers at that point. If, for example, Amaranth is in a swimsuit, face down on a hot dog, licking ear microphones, farting into a microphone for you for subs, why not lie on your back on a donut, an inflatable donut, and rub a microphone on your belly button?
That's probably the next thing. You can do that whenever they want. The whole farting thing might really end up backfiring, no pun intended. Because there was a girl on Twitch who
queefed on command.
Yeah, she queefed on command into the microphone and got like suspended for it.
Yeah, they considered it sexual content. Which, if you're finding queefing on command to be masturbatory content, I think there's other issues to be resolved. To each their own. But I don't know how many people are watching Twitch and just jerking off to someone queefing into a microphone.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Like front farting into a microphone.
Brother, you would be surprised. Yeah. I was, all right, so for research last night, I was watching Indie Fox because I wanted to get a funny tweet about it. And there was one dude that literally in all capitals in the stream goes, I'm dead ass jerking off right now. Like, first of all, I don't know if there's like a burner account with a fake email, but like people can find out that that's you. Like, and that's something you probably keep to yourself. In all capitals, just painting the fucking chat with it. Like,
highlight message.
Bro.
Redeem 10,000 channel points. I'm jerking off to you farting right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this goes to show us that like people, like maybe the hot tub phase is fizzling out. And now it's time to save on the water bill and save on your electric with heating up a jacuzzi in the middle of your...
An anonymous gifter with 5 subs.
Hey, thank you,
Anonymous.
This is my least favorite episode. Let Dom speak.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous Samaritan.
Oh, Duck Confetti. What's up, man?
Hey, what up? Okay, so...
Talk to us, Tom.
I'm trying to process all of this because anytime Chris texts me and goes like, "Did you see this new meta on Twitch?" I already know it's going to be something absurd.
Yeah,
I already know it's going to be something absurd. Here's what I think. So you talking about like oh my God, I fucking just hate my dad. My dad listens to this podcast. You talking about, the hot tub meta might be fizzling out because the fucking ear licking meta is, at some point, maybe there needs to be a hard line between where these types of topics go and where the other ones go.
Do you think I want to know this info?
Yes.
I'm trying to stay on the...
I fully...
Chris,
stay on the pulse of the industry.
You cannot convince me you don't want to know this info.
I don't.
No.
I don't.
Okay, so I think there needs to be, I really genuinely do think that there needs to be and we've said this before, there needs to be like some sort of gate. There's got to be some sort of gate.
Why are you becoming so bashful talking about this?
Because the fucking sounds were traumatizing for me. I was like, I was like, hey, going like this, like recoiling.
ASMR is not for everybody.
No.
It's not.
The whispering is a whole different thing from the fucking. It sounded
ASMR.
like, you ever hear? You know what it sounded like is you ever put a pool vacuum in?
Yeah,
it's exactly that.
No, look. I know
a pool sucking the underside of a vacuum sucking the underside of a pool.
Trust
That's what
me.
It fucking sounded like.
Look, I'll try anything once. Okay, I've listened to ASMR before. I've listened to people fucking sucking the paint off a fucking a wall. But like,
what the hell's that one?
It's like
that's the new meta. We don't know about that.
Right. See, I'm a couple of steps ahead.
Yeah.
Like, remember we were talking about fucking all of those like leaked nudes, and you guys, and I was like, look, guys. I'm always a couple steps ahead.
Okay.
I'm a couple steps ahead for this. All right.
So here's a question for you, Bob.
Yeah.
As someone who's on the pulse of the industry and that can predict these moves before they happen.
Oh, what's the next?
What's the porn industry? Yeah, let me tell you all about it.
What's the next meta in on Twitch? What's the next meta? Right now it's ASMR, yoga pants. What's the next one? Is it sitting on cakes?
No.
See the wheels turning.
So I'm like calculating right now what we've already gone through for this shit. We've seen body painting, which was like a big deal like 2 years ago for some reason. We've seen the hot tub meta. We've done like the fucking bikini haul meta. We're now going into the ASMR meta. I genuinely, truly believe, put the tinfoil hats on actually.
I want them to stay on because I'm going to tell you what I think after this too.
All right. I believe.
I hope it's the same.
Wait, Scrap goes, I'm stuck. Stop the stream.
I think the next move we see is semi-lateral and it goes into mud. Mud. I think there's going to be, at this point, at this rate, they're basically cashing in off of kinks. You know what I'm saying? What is another way to skirt that sexual line than mud?
People have mud kinks?
Yes. What? Yes. People have kinks for everything. There are kinks for people who are slowly getting pulled into quicksand.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's a legitimate thing. That could be after the mud. The quicksand kink could be after the mud.
Well, I mean, I don't kink shame, do your thing, but that one's fucking weird.
Dude, I think we're going to see like...
way worse.
We're going to see like... It's going to be like...
You know that.
It's going to be like, what is it? Just chatting, like IRL just chatting, but it's going to be
Just
like,
sinking?
but it's going to be like women on
Just help me.
bikinis, women on bikinis on like quads, driving through mud.
They definitely have to have.
I mean, the production on that has to be A1. They deserve the subs if
Dude,
they pull
I'm
something
telling
like that.
you, there's going to be mud at some point in the near future.
All right, do you want to hear my guess on the next?
Yeah.
And this is going to literally blow the whole thing up. And I'm not going to specify on what this acronym means. If you know, you know. But this, I'm not trying to make this super sexual. It's going to be a JOI type stream.
I don't know. I don't know if they can because that's
Really?
actual sexual content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
think
what if they
that's-
find their ways around it?
For anyone who doesn't know what JOI is, it's jerk off instructions. Again, multiple steps ahead of everybody in the porn industry.
I know what it was. That's what I said. I just didn't want to specify.
Well, Dom doesn't know. He's too old.
Oh, true,
He
true.
still goes through he goes through magazines still.
Yeah.
But
What's a viewfinder now?
that's like actual, I mean, those are probably worth fucking money, honestly, at this
Yeah,
point.
bro, come on.
But, like that is actual, I'm pretty sure that is actual sexual
But
content.
like, what if you code word it?
So the only way I could see them possibly doing that is trying to sell it as affirmations. So to be like, have you ever seen like those TikTok affirmations of a girl whispering into a microphone being like, wow, you really look good today.
Yeah.
You know? You really woke up on
I
the
watch
right-
those 15 times a day.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you,
really woke up on
sweetheart.
the right side of the bed. Your hair looks great. Did you shower this morning?
I scream at my phone, stop fucking lying to me.
Like, that's the only way they could possibly get away with it is to try to sell it as no, I'm doing ASMR affirmations.
Yep.
In reality, they're just they're trying to guide you into jerking off to them on stream.
Like I'm trying to help you finish your work for the day. And like when I keep saying like, okay, like you can log off now. Like it's me telling you like blow a load.
Yeah. Or like, hey, make sure to file that expense report.
Exactly.
Or like, don't forget to
Send that Excel sheet.
Don't forget to add that attachment to the email before sending
Don't forget
it.
to balance the checkbook today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this has gone on too long. But yeah, that's the current meta now.
This is officially my least
I'm gonna go get us beers.
my least favorite episode of the podcast.
I'm enjoying this.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. As somebody who has also done a lot of research on this stuff, like this, I'm a big fan of this episode.
It's great. Like granted that we didn't have audio for 3.5 minutes, but it's okay. We bounced back with a vengeance. How you feeling, Dom?
I don't know. I got lots of. I got to process. I got to need a couple days to process all my feelings. So I am just gonna say, get your money and get it how you live.
Yeah.
You know,
Get that bread.
get it how you live. I will never knock anybody for a hustle or a grind or a job or whatever. And if they're making money and it makes them happy, then do it. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. I got nothing else.
Again, I have absolutely no problem with any of
No,
this
me
shit.
either.
No.
It's not for me because in reality, one, I get laid. Two, there's free porn on the internet. I don't worry about it.
I don't have a sharp thing
But-
to open this with. Can you?
I'm not going to shock.
Why are we shotgun
chug
it?
it.
JB said to shotgun it. I don't know.
No,
Hey, well, hold on. Where's the channel points to shotgun the beer?
no,
There
it
isn't.
says chug a beer.
Yeah, it says chug a beer.
If one more person does the 15,000 channel points, we'll shotgun them instead.
All right, whatever. But regardless, like, fucking, God, make your bag.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not contributing to it
Yeah.
because one, I don't need to jerk off to you, and two, it's like not my cup of tea. Like
Yeah.
it's not. If I had a kink, ASMR is not my kink.
No.
Yeah.
You said if you had a kink.
Well,
Feet.
feet.
We'll go. That's going to be on the Not Another Gaming Podcast After Dark thing. Oh, Scrap said it won't let me, but it's probably because there's a timer on it. I think there's like an hour timer or something like that.
Huh?
All right, so let's just chug them for JB. But before we chug these, what do we have next on the docket for the people to
The
look
next
forward
is
to?
our ad read for Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy is the #1 daily sports and esports app on the planet. They've given out over 3 million prizes to date, and the app is so easy to use. It's easy to make money on Thrive Fantasy. And listen, if you don't know how to do it, you're going to do this right now. Do it with me. You're going to open up a tab in your browser. Go to thrivefantasy.com, or you can open up your App Store or Google Play Store and download the Thrive Fantasy app. Sign up using promo code WGG. Make a deposit of $50, and you're going to get $50 back for free. You'll immediately have $100. Then all you got to do is you pick a lineup. from the corresponding player props for any sport that you want that's listed on there, or esport that's on there, and get your share of the prize pool. It's that simple. Easy, 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 easy. We like easy money, and that's what Thrive Fantasy gives you. So Thrive Fantasy has paid out, again, over $3 million in prizes to date. So if you're tired of the same old fucking bots and, people who are like day traders but for daily fantasy, and you want to get some skin in the game, the NBA playoffs are well underway. You know what I'm saying? See, you see where I'm going with this? You can prop up with us on the Thrive Fantasy app using promo code WGG. And again, your first deposit of up to $50 is going to get matched by us. It's coming directly out of Mike Kent from Dexerto's pockets, and it's going to go right into yours. Deserto, I said. Right, that was my accent. We'll cut that. We'll cut that part out. Deserto's pockets. I was on a roll. I didn't do that on purpose. Deserto's pockets. It's coming out of his. Mike is paying for it, is what we're telling you.
Download the app. It's free licks.
Nice.
See what I did there?
Can we hold on before we get into the next topic? Can we have a vote on what we think is going to be more likely, JOI or Mud?
Mud.
JOI.
Mud. I don't.
Chat, who thinks? What do you think?
JOI
or Mud?
I don't bet against Bob.
Fair point.
I don't bet against them.
To be fair, though, Chris has also done a fair amount of fucking research on this.
I have.
That is true.
Thank you, Cole.
Nora goes Mud, and I'm going to fucking start it. That's it. Get it how you live. WGG stream team, baby. Okay, so let's talk about some video games. What do you guys think?
I'm down. But first, let's chug a beer.
Yeah, chug a beer.
Cheers, boys. Thank you, JB, for redeeming the channel points.
Hey, to Mud.
To Mud. To jerk off instructions.
All right, video games.
Alexa, play Back in the Mud by Bubba Sparks. What the fuck were we going to talk about now? What was the
E3.
second? Oh, well, wait. Before we do that, I want to wait. I want to save that for last because I want it to be the bulk of the conversation. We definitely need to. We gotta spread this pie chart out. So, speaking of events. Of live events. E3 happened last week, and it was all over the fucking place. We had, 15 different showcases across 2 different weeks, and it was just a huge, gigantic fucking mess. So I personally cannot wait for next year when everything is back to normal, so everything can occur on one weekend, like Bob was saying.
End of this year.
True.
Starting into this year, yeah.
Yeah. So everything can just happen on one fucking weekend. E3 specifically, it needs to just be in a one weekend. Fuck this whole spread out over a month shit. I don't want to see, the EA, because even the EA Play thing is in mid-July. And technically that's E3. But come on. So, however, somebody who's been having their grand old time impersonating Ninja has been sneaking into a bunch of live events as Ninja, and he's been getting treated like fucking royalty. Yeah. Apparently, you can just dye your hair blue, slap a bandana on, and fucking go to town on a free buffet.
That's not all you need. You also need to be double-digit LBs. You have to be under 100 pounds.
That took me a second. So Kenny could do this easily.
Kenny could.
Oh, he just needs to dye his hair blue.
That's all he would have to do.
Well, he actually might have to put on 35 pounds.
Could we try this maybe for content, as a social experiment? Put Kenny?
Yes, yeah, we could.
Well, we have to see if he's down.
I mean, we haven't seen he's going to do it.
But he also needs to not talk because he can, once you start drinking, anybody from around here, a Boston accent comes out.
True. I feel like Maddie could probably do it too. Maddie's got an Adam's apple. You know what I mean? And he's
you need to fucking bobby pin your fucking neck skin all the way
You
back.
need that, but Kenny's got that figured down pat, and nobody knows how tall Ninja is. Don't Google it.
No, well, they won't on the spot. All right, so let me.
Anyway, Chris, tell us about this. I got to sneak by the box.
Okay, so what is going on? And like Dom said, there is someone going around impersonating Ninja to get into places that he probably wouldn't be able to get into. So his name is Nick Wohl, and he's from the band Dreamers. I've never heard of them before this, but I looked them up because these videos went super viral. So if you want to see the videos, it's on one of their pages. But this guy, he dyes his hair blue. He wears clothes that Ninja would wear. And the first time he got into an invite-only basketball game with all celebrities there, he was dapping up Jack Harlow and Tyga and fucking Ray Shremmerd. And they loved him there. They were Chris Brown was there. So that video went nuts, and Ninja's wife actually
Wait,
quoted it.
he's not in prison?
The guy that impersonated him?
Chris Brown?
No, he's out. He was playing basketball. I don't know. But like Ninja's wife even quoted it and said like, this guy's a legend. And Ninja himself quoted, goes like, oh, I don't remember going to that game. So that had its run. And then like, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, he popped up again by going to a restaurant in LA called Saddle Ranch, which is apparently like a restaurant that a bunch of celebrities and whatnot go to. And he walked in, had no reservation. And the manager ended up going out seeing him. He was on the dude impersonating, he was on the sidewalk flossing with little kids that were walking down the street. And people were taking pictures of him, and he was signing autographs. And the owner found him and walked him out back, gave him VIP, everything. He was like taking shots with the owners of the place, signing autographs and like taking pictures. And all he said he had to do was tip off the paparazzi. And like dress like Ninja.
1,000%.
And he pulled up and rented a car. He had like one of his buddies driving an Escalade. He pulled up and they treated him like royalty. So I don't like, obviously I find it a little like weird and kind of like intrusive to do that.
Yeah.
But it's fucking hilarious. And Ninja and his wife think it's funny too. So how can we even argue it?
So now, just as a refresher for me, was this just like some regular kid, or was this somebody who was like a YouTuber or something like that?
No, he's in a band. Like he's not someone with a lot of followers where like it's like an influencer or anything like that. His band might be big. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So there was that guy.
They sound familiar, Dreamers.
There was that guy. Was like Big Dawes TV or something that did the. What was it?
Was it Clay Thompson?
Yeah, Clay. Yeah. Clay Thompson impersonation, and he literally was walking around in a full Golden State Warriors like jersey and shorts.
He like drove into their stadium, and everyone's like waving at him.
People were waving at him. It's like, bro, he's dressed like he's ready to go play.
Yeah, no one does
like,
that.
Yeah.
He's like parking next to players' Rolls Royces and shit.
Yeah.
He was on like a Hyundai.
Yeah. So this shit is forever hilarious to me. There is never going to be a time where like a man on the street thing like this is like, I don't think like this, to use the M word again, like the prank meta is funny at all, but the impersonation and like man on the street thing, like that stuff is always going to be absolutely fucking hysterical. So if you can get away with it, like, listen, they didn't fucking, it's not like the kid made a fake ID.
No, they didn't ID him.
No, he just walked in, they go, okay, Mr. Ninja, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Mr. Blevins, come on in. But my thing is, we're like,
right this way.
Obviously, the double-edged sword is like, yes, it's funny. Yes, you can make great content out of it. But God forbid this dude was an asshole and went in there and like did something so
if he went in and got hammered and punched somebody or something, like then it's,
and then they like pull his mask off and find out it's just not him, or even at the worst.
Well, then he goes underneath the jail.
Yeah, then he goes to jail.
Yeah.
And then Ninja unfortunately has to come and make a statement saying, I don't know who this person was.
Yeah, right.
But I think there's people that care and people that don't care. Me personally, if someone was like going out impersonating me to get into places, granted, I'm not even close to that, that stature. But like, if I was, like, I would be pissed. And I know a video just came out. I think it was the guy Fuzi Tube came out with a video where he was driving around with the fake Drake. And they got tons of backlash, and Drake, I think himself, was like pissed. He's like, "Why the fuck are you doing this?"
Yeah, well, isn't he like kind of a controversial guy anyway?
Yeah, 100%.
All right then. So yeah, I wouldn't want
But like I said, Ninja's cool with it. Jessica, his wife, is cool with it. So I think it's fucking comedy.
Yeah, if they got a laugh out of it and they were like, I mean, well, now the thing is if he got this cosign from the Blevinses, Mr. and Mrs. Blevins,
he's going to keep doing it.
As I know them.
I don't know. I think it becomes more mainstream and people see past it.
I think, but now he's the Ninja impersonator guy.
Maybe.
So people go, shit, it's a Ninja impersonator guy. Like, we're going to make some content. And like, I don't know what city this was in, if it was in LA or whatever.
One of them was in LA.
Let's say it's like, I don't know, like a Lakers game to use an example, like next year. And it's like, look who we got at courtside, the Ninja impersonator guy. And he's like, fucking courtside seats. Like that is... the type of shit I can see happening. Like they do this at basketball games all the time, where they have like a guy like fake fall down the stairs, or like the mascot like gets into a fist fight with like the other mascot or something. Like they're gonna be like, "We have Ninja Tyler Blevins himself is here right now," and like right. But now I think this dude has like a license to do it whenever the fuck he wants.
I also think we're at the point now where like when we were growing up, the people that we watch all the time was like Bonnie and like Sesame Street and shit like that, where like if a little kid was having a birthday party, they would get a fake Bonnie, a fake Big Bird, a fake whatever.
Chris, they're first of all, Barney, Big Bird, all of those characters are not real.
I understand that, but to a lot of kids nowadays that watch Ninja's not real. He's just a person behind a screen.
Right, but you're not seeing Barney and Big Bird walk down fucking like LA Boulevard. You're not.
How do you know that?
Because they're not real.
How do you know that one of the people inside of those costumes isn't the actual Big Bird Elmo? Oh, I said Elmo. I don't know where Elmo came from, but
We're comparing a fucking real life.
What I meant by it
to a fucking fictional character.
morons. Listen to me for a
Well,
fucking.
how are you gonna call us the morons? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm getting to it. It's all coming full circle. What if a kid is having a birthday party and he's like, "Ma, I would really love if Ninja came," and this dude's just like, "Hey, yeah, I do Ninja like impersonations and like I show up for like an hour."
Clown now.
Yeah, pretty much. But he shows up like, and he's Ninja there, and the kids don't know. The kids don't know. He charges
Yes,
like
they do know. I feel like kids.
They don't know. They're so fucking dumb.
I
kids.
disagree. I think they would know immediately. I think
100%.
they would know before adults knew.
That's exactly.
So what do you? So how do you think this is gonna work?
They can get the money up front, and if they get bobbed, they get bobbed. And hey, in the fine print, it said I'm not
Okay,
actually
no
Tyler
fucking
Blevins.
way. That's no okay.
The parents are gonna go.
It's a scam.
The
job.
parents are gonna think it's actually Ninja.
Today,
That's the thing.
This week in Scumbag Chris, he's like, I'm actually gonna dye my. It's like fucking Nathan for you. He's like, the plan to dye my hair blue and tie a bandana around my head and make money at children's birthday parties to impersonate Tyler Blevins.
Why not? Like you said at the beginning, get your money how you can.
Jesus Christ!
I think there are other ways the Ninja impersonator can make money off of this, other than performing at children's birthday parties.
What, like ad revenue on YouTube videos?
Yeah.
Well,
Anything other than a children's fucking birthday party.
This motherfucker was on the corner of like, what is it called? Something Boulevard in LA, whatever it's called, like Rodeo Drive or something Boulevard, Hollywood Boulevard, flossing with children. They thought it was him. You're telling me when there's fucking all you can eat pizza and fucking cake and shit, if Ninja keeps his mask on due to precautions, they don't think it's him? Of course they do.
Did he have the the mask on too?
He had his mask on, yeah.
Pete said, "I'm gonna see if anyone wants Danny DeVito impersonators. I can make some money." Pete, if you ever bicked your head and like became a Danny DeVito impersonator, I would support you 100%.
100% I would.
100%.
We'd promote it on here.
Also,
Hey,
while you were ranting and raving about this, Steve was like, hold on. I want to see where he's going with this.
Thank you, Steve. At least you tried to hear me through.
It literally went nowhere.
Yeah.
I think I had a great point.
So let me just try to condense what you were saying.
Please.
So the big idea, the like blank check, like this guy's 2 tickets to paradise, right? Is to continue this, not to continue making videos, but to do kids' birthday parties where you scam the parents out of money and you are immediately outed as not Ninja by children.
Might be lawsuits, but
And then you leave?
well, if they kick you out, if they're like, "Oh, we already paid the money, just fucking act like
He ain't
Ninja."
Charles Barkley. He's just a wannabe that looks like him.
I mean, there's no kids that walk up to a fake Elmo going, "You're not the real Elmo." No, what do you? Why you? I mean,
Chris, that is because they sell licensed Elmo suits and you can put on a realistic it's not a real creature. He's not real. So there's kids that walk up to fucking I was just in Times Square 2 weeks ago. There's somebody dressed up like Minnie Mouse after a fucking 3-month meth bender, and they're getting pictures taken left and right. And they're getting hundreds of dollars in the bag. It's different when you go to like Disneyland and there's, somebody in a Buzz Lightyear costume. Obviously they know it's not a toy made real, but it's a novelty.
I think you just took a different angle on it.
But Ninja is a real person, not a fucking cartoon character.
But to a lot of people that'll never see him in person, he's not a real person.
No.
Because you'll only see him behind a screen.
No, there's a difference between human flesh and fake acrylic fur.
I think we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one.
Shocker. Steve goes, he's still real to me, damn it. Still real to me.
Right, first of all, shout out to Bub for the resub.
Yeah, thank you, Bub, for the sub.
Anyway.
Thank you for the Bubscription.
That basically how Dom was reacting to the entirety of the air licking meta, that this is how I feel right now.
Yeah. I think you should keep doing this, though.
Oh, I agree. I think the very last thing he should do is open up his own fucking kid's birthday business. I think that's the last thing he should do. I think that's what happens when he goes on his meth bender and throws away all of his money, gets kicked out of every fucking restaurant because they know he's just coming in to mooch off of them. That's his last resort, is to become the fucking ninja birthday impersonator. That's it.
So you tell me there's a chance.
You know what? Fuck it. I guess there's a chance. Okay?
W.
Jesus Christ. You know what?
Thank you, Steve.
This is unbelievable. What a time. This might be the best episode we've ever done.
I think...
Best but worst.
Yeah, I know. I think that there is like 90% of all of what he's doing is just balls.
Oh,
yeah. It's all confidence.
Balls of steel.
It's all fucking... You walk in... Your mindset is you walk in knowing that you're ninja.
I am Tyler Blevins.
I am Tyler Blevins. I am going into this restaurant. I am getting free shit. And then guess what? I'm going to a Lakers game after
100%.
this.
It's
you
admirable.
walk in knowing that you're fucking ninja.
You ever like forget your like license or like ID to go in somewhere, or like forget like to use like PAX as an example, like you forget your PAX badge, but you just walk like you walk in and you go, oh shit, my badge was in my pocket that whole time, but you were like, fuck, I just walked right in. That was so easy.
Yep.
Like it's like that. I'm sure once he broke that seal and went into, you know, whatever he did, whatever the first stunt that he
like
did, he was like, oh.
It's like a drug. You do it once and it feels good. It feels real good.
I just hope that like...
You know what else is crazy? Meth. Meth is a drug that I think he might get into in the near future.
But now that... So, tinfoil hats real quick. Now that Ninja is doing cinema and he's going to be in Free Guy, who's to say that this
movie
guy...
looks fucking awful, by the way.
I actually want to see it. I think it looks good.
Pokemon's in it too.
But now that Ninja is in Hollywood, who's to say that this guy can't be his stunt double?
Ooh, okay.
You know, so
You gotta do training for that shit.
So I want to leave the
he
guys
has all the training he needs.
one final statement. I'm not saying that. I know that you disagree with me, but if Ninja was able to sneak into a celebrity invite-only basketball game and dap up Jack Harlow and Ray Shremmerd and fucking Chris Brown and all these people, he can fool a fucking 4-year-old.
I would try to avoid Chris Brown just because of the past.
I'm just saying, in the sake of it being an adult,
me, I would be upset.
he's getting dapped up by adults saying, "What up, Ninja?" I swear to God, he can fool a fucking dumbass 4-year-old.
He probably could have walked into the White House, honestly.
Again,
There's no question in my mind.
Hello, Joe.
I fully disagree. He cannot, with no mask, no fucking shot.
Nah, the mask is
no shot. He cannot fool a child. He could fool the adults and burn them for all their fucking money so he can go on a meth binge, but he cannot fool the kids.
I need to see a picture of him. I haven't seen like the full video. I've only seen like the like far away pictures, but I'll have to see that before I like make a verdict on that. But yeah, I mean, without the mask, obviously it's a little different. But yeah, Seth was saying, I can't wait to aimlessly walk into PAX as Dom. Chris has convinced me anybody can be anybody.
You can.
You can. You really can.
It's confidence.
It's confidence. That's really all it is.
It's why we pass on fake IDs that look nothing like us. You make the people so fucking puzzled that like, this person really believes they are them, so this has to be them.
I got carded on Saturday. Fucking crazy.
I got carded today buying pods for a fucking vape.
Crazy. I got carded today. Well, I feel like that shit's more regulated than fucking booze now.
It is 100%.
Which is ridiculous in this fucking country. In this fucking state.
So
I'm not going to get fucking mad.
Commonwealth of Wyoming, man. It's crazy. It's
fucking ridiculous.
Going down the shit.
We might as well be in fucking Germany.
Oh my God. On to the final topic of the evening, and something I've been waiting to talk about.
Video games.
Video games. So E3 has come and gone, and it was something.
Not good.
Lots of presentations happened. We had Ubisoft Forward. We had Microsoft and Bethesda Showcase. We had Nintendo's E3 Direct. And a bunch of other smaller presentations, completely disjointed, completely fucking confusing on how to follow. And I had to open up like 19 tabs just to keep track of absolutely anything that was going on.
And one company outright said people cannot stream this.
Yep. They did. So I am not sure how you guys want to go about this. I'm happy to kind of go through each presentation and kind of just talk about like what was good, what was bad, maybe do a little like report card grade on each one.
Do you want to pull something up that like shows what's listed for each?
I know everything except for Ubisoft. That was the only one that I didn't really check in on. But I mean, mainly just for Microsoft and Nintendo, because I watched both of those. Square Enix, I know did one as well. But so for those of you who did not know, Sony did not show up. Sony did not show up at all at E3. They called out, no call, no showed from E3 and just decided, you know what, fuck it, we're not going. And instead, a bunch of games got leaked that they were coming as remasters to the PS5, but also the PS4. So it's still pretty unclear if anything is coming to the PS5 that's going to be exclusive at all, or if they're going to have anything to be excited about in the next 3 years. But Microsoft, however, I thought did an excellent job.
Wait, hold on. To be fair, Sony will just do their own direct.
Yeah.
Like whenever they want.
Yeah, but
because that's what they do.
They didn't, but they haven't announced anything. They've like given nobody. They've given nobody like the. They've given no like signs of confidence in that. At least EA was like, yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna have a presentation, but it's just not gonna be until July. And
yeah, I think Sony will do the same thing. And before, I mean, if you,
they're all bad.
So I would need to look at what Sony's release dates look like for whatever their upcoming games are for PlayStation 5. But I would hazard a guess to say that, not even hazard a guess, I would estimate that they would say probably a month to 2 weeks before those big games release, they'll
do a state of play.
They'll do a state of play.
Yeah. The state of plays, honestly, in the past have been pretty disappointing. I don't think I've watched a state of play in the last like 6 months that has been like a real like brain buster. But I guess we'll start at the bottom, which was the most disappointing, which happened just yesterday, which was Nintendo. Did you guys watch the Nintendo E3 Direct?
I watched like half of it and then I stopped watching.
I missed the two worst ones, which was Nintendo and Capcom.
So Nintendo stunk. This was I posted a blog on wickedgoodgaming.com, which you could read right now, which was my wants, my needs, and my expectations. My wants were, a little bit more out there. Maybe a new Star Fox game, I actually did say I wanted a new Metroid game, and we got that. My needs...
But wait, it wasn't Metroid Prime 4.
But it wasn't Metroid Prime 4. My needs were Metroid Prime 4, at least a teaser, something more than a logo, at least a teaser, even if it was like a minute long. Breath of the Wild 2 gameplay, which we got. I think the other need was the Switch Pro, which we didn't see. The Super Nintendo Switch, which we did not see. And there was one more. I think it was... fucking Christ. God damn it, Q. The other need was a tease, even like a logo of the next big Mario game.
Sure it wasn't Super Monkey Ball Mania?
Boy, oh boy, was it fucking ever not that, even though I do love Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, some people really
I was excited about Super Monkey Ball.
If you guys were watching me scroll past this, I literally stopped and like moved the mouse around like this because I was excited to see it. I love Super Monkey Ball.
People love Super Monkey Ball.
So this is what we got. We got Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Neat. We did get Breath of the Wild 2 gameplay. We got Metroid Dread, which is a 2D side scroller, like classic Metroid title, kind of like Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, and like the original Metroid games, which I'm very excited for. I think that's going to be excellent. I'm very, very excited. It looks like very kind of horror-y, a lot of like tense moments, kind of like Metroid Fusion was, and that was my favorite fucking Metroid game. So I am all for that shit.
I heard people like, sorry to cut you off, like Vambi, we all know, is a huge Breath of the Wild guy. Yep. He's literally hit us up for the past year going like, hey, what's the news on Breath of the Wild 2? Like, he's all in.
We find out after the public finds out. That's how low we are at Nintendo's list.
And he beat the game like 3 or 4 times, I want to say, and his mom's beat it 3 or 4 times. And like besides him, I saw people on Twitter when they actually dropped that trailer saying that they like cried.
I can believe that.
They cried.
I didn't understand all of the hype behind Breath of the Wild until I played it.
Exactly.
Because I
was in tears the last.
I shouldn't say I'm a traditional Legend of Zelda like diehard. I'm a traditional 3D Legend of Zelda diehard, where it's like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess. Those are like the pinnacle of those games for me.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker I only got halfway through, and then I never finished it because I think my GameCube broke.
It's so good.
But I never understood the actual value that Breath of the Wild gave you as a game until I played it, and then I started playing it every single night for 5 hours a night.
Dude, I'm not as you guys know, I'm not a big weed guy. I think I'm dying every time I smoke, but I found these edibles that I really like. I get nice and Buddha from them. I never understood getting a little high and playing a video game and actually being able to focus and just soak it all in and enjoy it. Until I got a little high and played Breath of the Wild, and then I was fucking hooked. It's
incredible.
I've said this on the podcast. I used to pull up to one of the villages that had this little jingle playing in the background, and I would be so booted that I would sit there and I would put the Switch down and just kind of vibe out to the tune that was going on in the village. It was great. But Breath of the Wild 2 looks phenomenal. Out of all Nintendo games, I know, Dom, you're the big Nintendo guy. I would say that's what I was looking forward to, and I got it. I'm not going to say that presentation was good because it wasn't.
I mean, it was the only thing of value they presented. But it's detracted by the fact that they have such poor business practice.
Yeah, not letting people stream it.
Yes, that is fucking so barbaric that they would say, "Hey, guess what? If you're an individual entity, we don't want you mirror streaming our content."
Yeah.
That is a big fuck you to every single content creator. I don't want to be the person to say if Nintendo isn't valuing its creators behind their games, their consumers behind their products, I think at some point the creators and the consumers need to stop valuing Nintendo as much as they value it.
Yeah, once Nintendo tweeted it out, Twitch actually responded to it on Twitter saying, Nintendo tweeted from the official account that co-streaming today's event is not allowed, differing from past years. While /Twitch Gaming has permission to air the show, we will not be airing the event because all creators cannot co-stream it.
Yeah.
That's one of the rare smart things Twitch has done.
Rare W out of Twitch.
The rare smart
things. Nintendo fucking just loading a couple of shells into a sawed-off shotgun and fucking blowing their entire left leg off. Going, hey, you know what? One of the biggest, probably the biggest gaming platform on planet Earth, we're just going to say, no, please don't stream on this. And then Twitch itself, as an entity, was like, fuck that, we're not co-streaming either. Also, hold on. E3, ESA, also denied co-streaming rights to Jeff Keighley.
The person who's putting all of this shit together?
Jeff Keighley gives more of a fuck about video games and the industry and the art form than anybody in the ESA fucking put together. Anybody involved in the production, the licensing, the fucking pyrotechnics, I don't give a fuck. Jeff Keighley gives more of a fuck than anybody on earth about video games as an art form, as a medium to be taken seriously. And the ESA, who, fucking 2 years ago doxed everybody that was going to the show, just goes, hey, you know what, bud? Summer Game Fest is cute, and the Game Awards is kind of neat, and thanks for doing that and shit. But you're good. You don't gotta.
We good.
Co-stream that.
It's literally it's so anti-consumer, so anti-creator that they just. I don't understand how Nintendo could get by on just goodwill alone. That's literally what they skate by. They skate by on two things. One, very good console specific games. Two, for IPs. That's it. That's all they skate by on.
That's kind of selling them short because they're some of the best IPs ever created,
right?
And which are the reason why 80% of people that are making games right now are making games.
But my point is, at some point, that goodwill needs to dry out.
I think it has been.
You cannot continue to support. We saw this shit with fucking EA. People stopped supporting EA because of bad business practice. At some point, I know Nintendo is significantly broader than EA, but at some point, the consumer needs to just be like, you know what?
EA also wasn't releasing great games. They were releasing games that were anti-consumer. They were releasing games that were cash cows instead of, they haven't.
True.
EA's never had a Mario Odyssey. They've never had a Breath of the Wild. They've never had an Ocarina of Time. They've never had a Mario 64.
That's definitely not true. They've had.
What's EA had that's even on the same level as Mario 64?
I mean, they released literal annual franchises that quite literally are the best-selling games of
not best-selling. I'm talking about like quality-wise. Like there's a difference between.
Yeah, but that could be debated on any level imaginable because it's all.
But I'm talking about like what they are giving to.
Hold on. Why am I defending EA right now?
I don't know. That's a great question. That's a great question. But actually, I think
because I gave them value back after Jedi Fallen Order. That's why.
That's right. Well, I mean, I have EA has some great will with me, and they've redeemed themselves with the Star Wars license. It was them.
Steve said Dead Space 1. Dead Space 1 came out before the merger or before the buyout with EA. Dead Space 1 and 2 came before the buyout of EA. Dead Space, rather.
But like in terms of Nintendo, I think it's less that they are anti-consumer, and I think it's more that they're just stuck in their ways and they don't. Like Jake Lucky tweeted, and we like Jake Lucky a lot. I'm a big fan of the guy. I think he does fucking incredible work. He tweeted that they were like anti-esports, anti-gamer, and anti-co-streaming or something like that. And like he's got about two out of the three there. Esports wise, it's like Nintendo doesn't really have an esport. Like there's not going to be a fucking like Splatoon has a Smash. But
they're doing everything in their power to not let Smash excel.
Shafted Smash.
They're literally so 2 out of the 3.
Right.
Everything
so 2 out of the 3. I think that they Smash is obviously fucking colossal, and they absolutely need to do more to support that community. And we've talked about that before on the like we've talked about this on the show before. And they're definitely like the Smash like grassroots community has created that esport on their own with no support from the developer, which is unfucking heard of. However, the anti-gamer is probably is a bridge too far for me, and I completely disagree with that. I think that they are stuck in their ways. These are older businessmen. These are guys who are like, and this is again like I just read fucking Satoru Iwata's memoir and like his autobiography. And not once in the autobiography is esports mentioned. Not once in the autobiography is streaming mentioned. But it's not about that. It's more so about like the art form as a whole and whether or not whether or not you need that, or whether or not like that's something that you need in a company to like hold faith in them and to like continue giving them your business. That's your own prerogative. I don't know a single person who only owns Nintendo consoles.
True.
I don't know. I don't own it.
I might.
And this counts PCs. I don't own it. I don't know a single person who exclusively games on Nintendo consoles. Nintendo is exactly what they are, and I don't think it's appropriate to. I don't think we should even bother stressing about holding them to a higher standard, because Nintendo is the same company that gets themselves. They fucking are like stroking themselves over being able to play online in one of their games. They were like, and for new Mario Party remastered, you can play around the world with anybody you want. And it's like, buddy, that's called online gaming.
Yeah, that's been around.
They're 2 decades behind the rest of the 100%. Industry.
They're still making classic games on an annual basis, and they're still giving more to the art form than most developers ever will. But like at this point, I think I kind of hate this saying, but like it is what it is with Nintendo. You are not buying a Nintendo console and going, I have the ultimate online gaming machine in my hand. You're not buying a Nintendo console and going, I'm going to make a fucking living streaming these games. You're not buying a Nintendo console and saying, I cannot wait to competitively play this game. Yeah, you can't.
Like leisure.
You can't, because you know what Nintendo is, and until they get I don't know, some major facelift, which they may not ever do, because they've never held themselves to the same standard that anybody else has. They're focused on making games, and that's it. There's never going to be a time where Nintendo goes, well, Xbox Live and PS Plus are doing these like weekly free games or monthly free games or whatever, so we're going to do the same thing. They're never going to do that. They're always going to be on their own lane. And I don't think it's even realistic to say, well, like, I guess I'll just wait until Nintendo likes esports. And if it means that much to you, then do it. Vote with your wallet, like we've said so many times on the show. But it's never going to come. You buy Nintendo games for either couch co-op stuff like party games, or you buy them for incredible single player experiences. And by being able to even see that your friends are online on your fucking Nintendo Switch, which is still the clunkiest fucking broken mess.
Rocket science.
I cannot finish South Park: The Fractured Butthole because of Joy-Con drift. I can't finish. I can't beat the game.
God.
I literally cannot get through another main mission because every time, because you have to aim where the gadget goes to like do specific things. I can't aim because every time I aim, it shoots up or down to the bottom of the screen.
Oh, that
I
would
can't
drive me
fucking.
insane.
I literally can't fucking beat.
I had
the
that
game.
problem with Breath of the Wild before I even knew what Joy-Con drift was.
Yeah, that happened to me in Breath of the
Until
Wild.
I knew what Joy-Con drift was. I remember hearing about it, but I didn't know that it was the same thing. Because I was like, why the fuck is Link going this way when we should be this way? Granted, they replaced it for free, which was great. They still don't acknowledge that it exists, but they go, oh, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, we'll replace that for free. Because they're trying to avoid a class action lawsuit. But Nintendo is some of the best out there at what they do, and they suck at everything else. And it is for lack of trying.
Absolutely for lack of trying.
I absolutely fully 1,050,000,000% believe that if Nintendo wanted to go balls to the wall and host a Super Smash Brothers Classic every year and do like this incredible fucking series,
it would be
do it.
It would be
crush.
It would be Nintendo's Worlds for Riot.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Yes.
Dude, it would crush.
I believe fully in my heart of hearts, and again, you guys know I'm the biggest Nintendo honk on the podcast, and I will 100% always, support Nintendo. I didn't buy a fucking Wii U though because the system was trash. I love my Switch. I think it's the best console I've ever purchased with my own money. I cannot believe that they haven't even gotten anywhere close to officially announcing the next generation one, and it's been half a decade. Can't believe that shit.
I mean, I'm just so far removed at this point from the fact that they outright told people not to co-stream.
Yeah.
And I think it is barbaric. I think it is like several years behind everything.
100%. But they don't give a fuck. It's not
right. But it's also at the same level of like that fucking psychopath developer who tried making the comment saying streamers need to pay rights to stream our game. That's the level of psychopathy. That
I think for that
Nintendo's
though, like
at.
it would be shocking if like EA did that. It would be shocking if, let's say, I don't know, the entire governing body of E3 told somebody that they couldn't stream the shit. But for Nintendo to do it, it's like, oh, that's just like silly old asshole Nintendo just going like, oh, well, there goes Grandpa again, like saying fucking weird shit that like they haven't said, in fucking decades. No, Grandpa, we're not going to count with the abacus today.
The abacus.
That's Nintendo. They're the fucking elderly people that they got those nice candies that you like, and they're always going to be
Always
there
the
for
best
you.
candies.
They got those
Werther's.
nice.
Like the little watermelon candies.
No. The
Werther's and the watermelon ones. Yeah.
That happened on like the cream ones. Remember like it was like strawberry cream, like little like hard candies that just disappeared. Mm-hmm. Those are the best. My grandma always had those.
Absolutely. I'm saying, man, that's the thing is like they always get those nice candies that you like.
Cream savers, yeah.
But they're never going to understand what you're talking about, and they're not going to make an effort to try. So Nintendo is your old grandpa, and like they're not trying to hurt your feelings, but sometimes they do because they say some dumb shit, or like they don't seem interested because they don't get it, and that's them right now. But they got those fucking candies that you like, and you're like, damn, I get like $1 every time I come over here. Like, what the fuck?
So Bub said that they're doing it on purpose, and then the only way that they start doing it is if they see sales drop. The problem is the Nintendo diehard fan base is never going to allow sales to drop. It's never it won't hit that point. It won't hit that point.
I will never. There's never going to be a reason for me to not buy a Nintendo game unless they are like. I don't even know. I don't even know what they would need to do. They would need to publicly execute somebody on
Sweatshops.
Yeah, but I mean, all your favorite companies have sweatshops.
Publicly execute someone, Dom says.
I don't know. They would need to publicly execute somebody in a Mario costume or like a Mario impersonator or something for publicly entering a Lakers game. I don't know. But that's the thing.
Wait, what is their statement this year on Pride Month? Because every company needs to do that, apparently.
I don't know. That's like there's a rabbit hole we don't want to go down.
It's so fucking.
So
put your money where your mouth is, Nintendo. Go donate.
That at the end of the day, again, I don't think that this. It's like we can be disappointed but not surprised. Like if you're surprised by Nintendo doing this stuff, then you must have just shown
been
up.
around.
You must be new.
I'm kind of surprised just because of how fucking ludicrous it is.
Yeah, I mean it's still not good. Like it's still not great. It's still a dumb practice, but it's like if this was any other developer or publisher on earth, you'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? But for Nintendo, it's like, oh, classic Nintendo. So anyway, on to a show that wasn't a complete fucking disappointment was Microsoft.
Yes,
Microsoft and Bethesda's showcase I thought was excellent, and I think I would have if Nintendo was a fucking D+, they were at least an A- for me, easily an A-.
I think they did very well.
They were probably the best showcase of the event,
easily,
honestly.
Far and away. I think it was like a 10,000 foot drop from them to number 2, but. I think that Microsoft did an excellent job flexing all of the acquisitions that they've made. Last year, they didn't have dick to show. And they have gotten a lot of shit for that, but they've been developing games takes time. We've talked about this. Developing games takes time, and they've been letting this stuff marinate. They've had Arcane, Bethesda, and all their other developers hard at work.
I love the Bethesda acquisition.
100%.
It just works so perfect.
100%. And Bethesda did brace people and said it's going to be on a case-by-case basis if things are going to be on PS5. And then Starfield gets announced, and it was like
exclusive
world premiere.
I'm not as sold on Starfield as everybody else is.
It looks sick. I don't know if it's like my type of game, but I think it looks good.
Skyrim and Fallout are my types of games, and Todd Howard got on stage and said this is Skyrim in space, so it's my type of game.
Yeah, but so isn't the Outer Worlds, and that's
true, and it's excellent.
that a sequel.
And that's also a Microsoft.
But we're getting Outer Worlds 2, which as soon as I saw that, I was like, dumb. Like
I was horny.
You know what's the biggest thing that a lot of people looked past that Bethesda announced? The new engine that they're working on, which I think Starfield is the first game that's. I can't remember the actual name of the engine on it, like the Creation 2 engine or some shit like that.
That sounds familiar.
But like. That is the biggest news that Bethesda could have. I genuinely think that's the biggest news.
You've talked about that before.
Because they were working on an engine that was 14 years old at that point when they released Fallout 76. And that's why there was so much fucking errors with it. That's why the game came out in a completely broken state. Granted, Bethesda did an incredible job working through it to make it a playable game and a game that people would actually enjoy playing through.
Wastelanders was awesome.
But the new engine that they're working on is the biggest news that they could release. I don't give a fuck. They could have walked out and said, guess what? We have nothing else.
Yeah.
We have literally nothing else. We're working on a new engine.
Yeah.
Every game going forward that we haven't released yet is going to be done on this new engine. And that would have been the news that I would...
Yep.
Congratulations. You already...
Hey, we got nothing to show you. However,
you
you have incredible new tech to look forward to, and we'll figure it out at a later date.
Exactly. Going forward with the next generation of consoles and PC gaming, we will no longer be using our outdated fucking engines.
Probably you suck.
And that's the biggest news drop they absolutely could have dropped on top of all the other information that they dropped. Xbox and Bethesda absolutely fucking killed it this year. And coming from me, who is 9 times out of 10 like the biggest like Microsoft denouncer, the only things I ever gave Microsoft like props for was accessibility with Game Pass, which is probably the second biggest fucking news that they dropped in the entire showcase. But now, like with all of their acquisitions, they are coming forward with IPs that you're not going to see in anything else. Yep. And 9 out of 10 of those are all going day one to Game Pass, which is they're taking all of their like top assets and compounding them on one another.
Yep.
It started with the Game Pass, then it went with acquiring. It was like a lateral move with acquiring. What was it? 13 companies at the time.
Yep.
You could hazard a guess as what is coming from that. But then now you get E3, the majority of the games that are being worked on, day one Game Pass.
Yep.
And then Bethesda comes forward. Here's where all of our games coming forward are going to be on a new engine. And then also, here's all the games that we are working on.
Yep.
Like literally everything that they announced has just been progressively stacking upon itself to make it better.
My numbers are probably off, but I think they announced 30 games. They showed off 30 games, 27 of which were going to be day one on Game Pass.
That's fucking insane.
Best deal in gaming.
Easily.
100%.
We've been saying that
There's
since
no
day
question
one.
about it anymore.
We've been saying that since there was fucking 12 games on
That's
there.
the second best deal in gaming after subscribing to us at twitch.tv/Wicked Gaming. That's the best value.
That's the best value in gaming right there, baby. But yeah, this is the thing is like they've spent all this time acquiring, talking about, advertising, all of these different developers that they've been working with. And now it's showtime. Now they're showing off all this shit. They are, Arcane showed off Redfall, which I thought looked fucking incredible. And this is not just another 4-person drop in, drop out, like Left 4 Dead clone or like co-op, like class shooter. This has the trademark Arcane storytelling style with your friends, which looks fucking awesome. And it's set in Massachusetts, and I've never lived in Massachusetts before, but like if I did, I would be pretty excited that this is set in my home state.
I've drone through Massachusetts before.
Yeah, I think we've it's one of those flyover states. So like I've never actually been, but I've heard really good things about it. Yeah. But Redfall was awesome. That was one of my favorite games that I saw shown off. I think the trailer was super fucking cool. The Halo Infinite multiplayer I thought looked absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
And for the record, like seeing that made me happy. And then the 12-minute like multiplayer showcase that 343 posted later on that day was mind blowing. I absolutely was. It was almost like every conversation I've ever had with friend of the program, friend of real life, Johnny Rupia, it came true on that showcase. And they showed off every minute. It was like just bang, 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 bang. They showed off all these different features for Halo Infinite multiplayer that I've been asking for and clamoring for since before Halo 5 came out.
Dude, like when as soon as I saw the whole presentation of Halo Infinite, I was like, yeah, this is cool. But then the next day to drop that 12-minute, I'm like, okay, like a little more in depth now. So I watched the whole thing through.
Like I said, compounding on what they're releasing every single time.
That worked perfect. It's like, hey, like guys, get excited. But tomorrow we'll go a little more in depth with the video that you can start and stop and do what you want to it. And I watched the thing through. And that night I re-downloaded the Master Chief Collection, and me and Pete ran for a little bit. And I've never been more excited than like after that whole 12-minute video.
So I do want to say multiplayer. I said this like straight away watching the announcement. I said there were no close-up like anything from the campaign. I think Dom and I didn't agree on this, but I think it was all cutscenes what they showed. They showed like a wide overhead of like the map. And then I think they just went straight into Master Chief cutscene the whole time. Which I think people should be wary about, because at this point, the Halo campaign and Halo multiplayer are they're independent of one another. Yeah. Multiplayer is coming out free to play, which is a 200 IQ genius move on their part 100%. Because it looks incredible. It looks like a Halo that people will want to play. It looks like a Halo that esports can be built around, which is something that they've wanted to do.
Yep.
Also, it's not like a predatory way of they're going about it either, which is props to them
boxes, again. No expiring battle passes for the uninitiated. The battle pass. This could have been. We could do a whole fucking episode on this, and we probably will. But no expiring battle passes, which is a big fuck you to Bungie and Destiny right now, because that's the biggest problem with that game is the FOMO that you get if you pop in for like the first month of a season. You have to take a break. Life happens. Johnny was telling me the same exact thing. He's got a kid. He's got a kid, and he's like, all of a sudden I can't play for a week, and the season pass expires, and then all the other progress that I was going to make is gone, and then I got to pay another $15 and jump in again.
It's a big tough
Halo Infinite.
Yeah, but that's how it was with WoW. Me and playing WoW.
Yeah,
it's so fucking brutal.
But like, I guess people never had a battle pass or anything like that. There's always content there to get, and it's never going to expire. But like, the thing is like this, like those items are not just going to show up on the shop 2 days later after the battle pass expires for you to buy with premium currency. Yep. There's one source of truth for every Halo Infinite unlock, and that's through the battle pass. You get the shit by playing the game, and they said that there's going to be a wide variety of unlocks that you just get from playing the game, even without the battle pass. And then each battle pass you can keep equipped for as long as you want. let's say it's 100 levels. I don't know how big they are. Let's say it's 100 levels for the battle pass, and a new one comes out. You know, you have to take a break. The new spring 2022 battle pass comes out. You don't need to buy that right away. You don't have to buy it ever. You can keep the December or winter 2021 battle pass equipped until you're done with it, and you've unlocked every reward that there is. And even then, none of that shit gets taken away. None of that stuff gets put into a premium shop for somebody to buy with real money to just circumvent all the effort that you just put in. And that's called fucking value.
I love that.
That's called value.
You know what I think they'll do with...
Hoodie, thanks for the sub, by the way, brother.
Thanks, Hoodie.
You know what I think they'll do with the campaign to further sell it? They'll do campaign-only customizable pieces, where it's like if you beat the game on hardcore mode, then you get this, or you beat the game in legendary mode and like under.
That's what they did in Halo 3 and everything else too.
Incentivizes you to actually play.
Yeah, it incentivizes the multiplayer components. Who make up that core of gamers for Halo. It incentivizes them to actually pay the $50 or however much it's going to be upon release to grind through the game at least once, and then you acquire whatever that gear was. But the thing I want to point out is I am hesitant on what the campaign is going to look like, because they showed nothing close up. And the biggest worry we had at the last year's showing was it looks like an Xbox 360 game. Like the character models looked like Xbox 360 models. So
right, but I think the multiplayer looked great, and there's no way that the campaign doesn't look better than the multiplayer. So
maybe,
I mean, it's going to be, the multiplayer is going to run smooth, and it's probably going to be a little bit downscaled from what the campaign graphics are. So I don't think there's any realistic scenario where the campaign, especially since you're still paying $60 for it. Well, unless you're a Game Pass customer in which you're paying $0 for it. That this campaign is not going to look better than the multiplayer. And the point where Bob had said where we disagreed was that they did show about 3-ish minutes of footage from the campaign, which to me seemed like 2 cutscenes sandwiched with a little bit of gameplay in between. There was no HUD on it. It could have been pre-rendered footage, but it was partially first person, and it had like some action scenarios where Chief was kind of using the grappling hook to pull himself through some debris. To me, that looked like gameplay, because there wasn't a lot going on like around, and it didn't look like it wasn't a very good cutscene. If that was the case, that portion of the cutscene wouldn't have been great if it wasn't interactive. The cutscenes I think look great before and after. They show the overhead view of the ring that Halo Infinite takes place on, and it gives me some incredible ideas on like what that campaign is going to feel like. I think they're going to take a page out of Gears 5's book, and they're going to have kind of like the light open world,
a HUD based.
Yeah, they got a nice little HUD-based thing. So like you're on your way to the next mission, and then it's like, oh wait, there's that little like bunker, that old military bunker. Like maybe we should stop in there.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's going to be like a light, and I think that this was Microsoft Game Studios' way of testing the waters with Gears 5. They're going to you guys are going to be the sacrificial lamb to test out the open world waters, so see if we could do it with Halo, see if we can get away with it. And Gears 5 was probably the most critically acclaimed Gears game in a very long time. And I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought the ending left a little something to be desired, but I thought the way that they handled open world was just enough without making it feel too diluted.
Yeah.
So
you differentiate too far from the formula at that point when you make it fully open world.
It still felt like Gears. It still felt like, like you had, even though it literally was in a big ass fucking empty desert, and you could have easily fucked that up, and somehow Gears 5 didn't fuck that up. So it was great. And I think that they're going to do that with Halo Infinite. I think that's exactly what the open world model is going to be, because they have been saying that for the first time in franchise history, you will be able to fully explore the Halo, one of the Halo rings, which is a massive undertaking. So I think it's going to look, I'm still optimistic, and I'm much more optimistic having seen the multiplayer, that I think there's going to be a bigger layer of polish than we think it's going to be.
They said you could explore the entirety of a ring.
I didn't think they said entirety, but like you can freely explore a ring.
Okay, I was going to say the entirety of a ring. That's like the
size of a planet.
That's a planet.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect that.
You will be able to explore a Halo ring freely for the first time in the series history.
I was going to say, because
not an entire ring,
because ring wise, it's like not only is they're a planet size of on
there's
top,
a planet, and
there
then
is
there's the
underneath.
ring. Yeah.
Well, you'll be able to explore a full ring in Halo before GTA 6 comes out.
This is very true.
Yeah.
This is very true. But yeah, again, we can and most likely will do a full episode on expectations as soon as we get closer to that. But we have like 90 voicemails, so you want to do a little voicemail?
Wait, what do you want to do?
So, hold on, wait. Did we never talk about Elden Ring? Because it happened. Wait, did it happen last week, before or after the show?
I think it was before. It was because Summer Game Fest last week.
Did we talk about Elden Ring last week? We did. No, we definitely did. We definitely did. Okay.
I was going to say, there's no way I drank that much last week.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Without further ado, let's get into some voicemails.
Need advice?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is the WGG Internet Sauce line, 617-701-7678. WGG Internet Sauce line. Leave a motherfucking voicemail. We'll listen to it live on the show. Baby, here we go. First caller.
Hey, what's up, WGG fam? This is JB Genesis once again. I just wanted to say, shout out. June is Pride Month. Love everybody in this community. That's about it. Peace.
Bet.
Real one.
Like we said before, shout out to all of our LGBTQIA plus homies. We love you very much. We support you. Happy Pride Month. Hope that you're out there celebrating safely and responsibly, but also as much as you possibly can. We love you.
And also, if you're a business, stop just putting out fucking pictures of you supporting Pride Month.
Shut up, brand.
Do something about it, you
Shut up,
fucking brand.
Bubba, can I see your stuff? I'm not sure what that means.
Well, it's because
I can see your stuff.
It's because we have the hot dog cams set up.
Nah, you can't see my stuff.
All right,
I
next.
tucked it into my sock. We're
What's
good.
up, guys? It's Nora. How is everyone doing? I'm watching the podcast right now. Dom's incredibly uncomfortable about all this ASMR. So obviously I need to ask, if y'all were each separately to do ASMR streams for whatever amount of money it would take for you to do it, what would you do and for how much money?
I already told you.
What kind of ASMR would you do?
I already tweeted about it today. I said,
Eating roast beef 3 ways.
Ooh, it's a good one.
That's not bad.
I'd probably do mukbangs. Just eat.
Oh, that is the one that fucking gets me. I could never understand.
Actually, I take that back because, God forbid you're like dating someone or talking to someone. There's my boyfriend is a grotesque fat moron that just eats on camera. I don't want to be that guy. But there's not many different, for the right amount of money, I would literally do whatever. I would fart into a microphone for hours on end if I really had to.
If somebody wants to buy me the air-shaped microphone, I will do ASMR. Dead serious. I will fuck around. I'll try to make some ASMR videos for YouTube, and maybe we hit that fucking algorithm where it explodes and we start making money off of it.
Big Lumberjack does ASMR.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Literally. I'll buy fucking old rusty knives and I'll resharpen them into a microphone.
That's actually that's a good idea.
I'm leagues ahead of everybody else.
All right, well, order the knife. We're going to try that one out.
We need the ear microphone first.
Oh yeah, please donate.
All right, is that it? We got it? All right, next one.
No, you didn't answer.
Yeah, I did. I said we were going to eat roast beef 3 ways on camera.
GG Founding Fathers, it's your boy JB.
Ooh, the double barrel, JB.
Another weekly voicemail calling in from the actual phone on the AirPods today because shout out Comcast, you fucking suck.
True.
My question for you guys this week is, when you squat down, do your knees pop like an old man?
Okay, let's not talk about this.
Yes.
I'm having PTSD right now.
Dude,
next voicemail.
So bad. If I squat down and then get up, no lie, my knee sounds like there's Velcro ripping.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yep.
It's really bad.
Mine do. That's actually going to be my ASMR. Is going to be me standing up and sitting down.
No, I'll fucking blow my knees out.
Cracking joints in my body. Yeah. I could do that.
Oh, stop. Okay.
I could do it for days.
Getting out of bed in the morning, ASMR.
Jesus Christ.
Easy money. 5 seconds.
Hey, how are you guys doing? It's me, D2D2, just calling in to say hello, and I'm super excited that you guys are settling into your new studio. I love the things you guys are putting up on the wall. It's looking really cool, and you guys are definitely giving it your own little personal flair. So, just saying hi. But I do have a question, and it's about drinking. I was wondering,
we can answer.
if you had to pick one type of wine, either red or white, and either only be able to drink that, or it's like you're given a choice and you have to only choose one for the rest of your life. What would you go with, red or white?
Easy money.
And I guess blush can be included in that one as well. So, cheers and have a great night. Bye.
Dude, mine is red. No questions asked.
Yeah, it's also red.
A little Pinot Noir. Or Cabernet, maybe.
Okay.
So I discussed this with our friends at the Down in Front podcast before. I'm not cultured on wine, but red.
Nice little red blend, a little apothecary.
I don't know. I literally don't know.
Get yourself a little 19 Crimes blend.
I've had 19 Crimes.
Very good. Very good.
I have like 2 wine bottles that I enjoy drinking, and I don't know why. Every time I go to a liquor store, I always say, maybe I'll fuck around and try a new one.
Yeah.
Because I always hate it.
I like a good Cab Sauv. I think it pairs well with a nice little little bone-in fillet. Little maybe like a 45-day dry aged ribeye. Something like that.
Wine drunk is great too. Granted, the next day you feel like shit.
It's
you
the
feel
worst.
awful.
Yeah,
it's the worst hangover.
Wine drunk, I am frisky as a motherfucker.
Okay. Here we go. Okay.
You don't get horny drinking wine. It's an
of course. I
aphrodisiac.
mean, that's why you drink wine.
Okay.
I mean, go get a little white wine and oysters. I mean, I can.
Hear me out. Put your tinfoil hats on again.
Oh shit.
We might not see the mud meta next. We might see hot tub like cooking meta or like bikini cooking meta.
Cooking in hot tubs?
Cooking.
I'm surprised that we don't have
bikinis.
burning oil burns meta.
Yes. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Cooking meta is a good one, actually.
Cooking meta, but sexualized, basically.
Like that.
And moaning into the microphone.
All right. 2 more voicemails. Here we go.
Hey, what is going on? It's your Partway Degenerate. Tiggy here. You guys are looking fantastic. We got a little switch up to the layup. Last time I saw, we got Dr. Bob on the far left. Dom looking incredible with that long sleeve tee. And Chris EP, behind one of the greatest
it's 100 degrees
of
out.
all time in this generation. So, a little hypothetical here. CDL starting tomorrow for the next major. And we have Battle of LA going on. Now, I got a question for esports, for the coaches. Can they start taking some heat just like real sports teams? I mean, because, 100T, time after time again, their team has failed to live up to any sort of standard, considering they probably have one of the biggest, salaries in the scene, And not to mention they have a 2-time world champion coach in JCap. So I'm just kind of confused what the hell he's doing. We got one player admitted to juicing last season. We're not going to get into that situation. But, the fact is this team has so much talent. They switch out the roster like the goddamn hockey lineup. It's just baffling. And I tell you, when they lose tomorrow against the LAG Gorillas, because the Gorillas, while they might not have the star power, they somewhat play together as a team most days, and they always have it against the Thieves. I think they're going to come out firing. Gorillas are going to win. And when that happens, I'm going to blog the shit out of how bad JCap should at least be let go. I mean, he's just living rent-free and getting paid probably an enormous amount of money for Nate Shot for doing literally nothing. I don't even think they're selling t-shirts. I think they're still stock on the Call of Duty website. It makes no sense. Let me know your thoughts. Should coaches be held accountable like real sports teams? Thank you.
So I'm going to let them talk about this while I take a piss and grab a couple beers for us. But I have several comments about coaches in esports, especially when it comes to Counter-Strike. So give me 1 sec.
All right. So yes, please. My knee-jerk reaction on this whole thing is I 100% agree that coaches need to be held more accountable. And this is my reasoning for it. I think esports as a whole right now is still so in its infancy where people think if something happens, the only person that really made that move was the owner of the organization, right? Where like if LA Thieves made a move, people go after Nate Shot because they think he's the one that did it. Granted, there are coaches there and no one really goes to them for that. I do think they need to be held more accountable on specific moves, but I also think the industry as a whole needs to be more educated on how things actually happen. Like I said, obviously JCap for, thank you. JCap for 100T, LAT rather, can make all the moves in the world, but at the end of the day, people are going to blame Nate Shot, which is, it's wild to me.
Not how it works.
But people that actually understand how things work you know that's not how it goes. When it comes to like signing players and bringing them on, I'm sure there's some sort of clearance that has to go on. But when it's like, hey, you're starting, you're not starting, that's a coach's move.
Yeah.
And just like in traditional sports, like we'll say like the Patriots for some reason, say that someone's starting over this other person, people don't blame Bob Kraft, the owner of the team. They blame Bill Belichick, like, what are you doing? Why are you starting this guy? And I think over time with esports, we'll get to that point where people actually understand the breakdown and who's actually making these moves.
Yeah. I think that, not knowing as much about esports as other folks do on the show, I think that coaches should always be accountable. I think that coaches should absolutely be accountable, like regardless of what type of sport it is. We've talked a lot about esports exiting this infancy, even though it's so huge and it's a bajillion-dollar industry and it's starting to eclipse other forms of media. That's not an excuse anymore, and coaches in esports should be held accountable the same exact way that coaches in traditional sports are. Like the Celtics lose in a disappointing fashion, Brad Stevens is getting fucking skewered all over radio the next day. Yeah. That's exactly what should be happening to, your favorite esports coach the next day on a podcast or on a Twitch stream or something like that, or live on the thing. Like, what kind of decisions is this guy making?
Yeah. I also think with like traditional sports compared to esports, I don't think esports utilizes their farm leagues, if you will, like your D League, your like contender leagues, and your championship leagues, stuff like that. Yeah, but the majority don't. Where like there's been people like Call of Duty League, right? Where there's been people in the league for so long, and people have come out and said it like it's ultimately who you know on these teams that really get you a spot. So like getting that call up like Standy did, right, on Minnesota Rocket, like to me that's something that should be utilized a lot more, and I think CDL is starting to do that, where we've seen these big shakeups in the starting lineups and stuff like that. I just think that these people have been around for so long. These are veterans on the team, and like we can't get rid of them. I think that has to change, and I think Counter-Strike is doing all the right things with that. I honestly think esports have to catch up to Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike is doing the right and wrong things for this. So there's a couple of examples going both ways for stuff like this, where it comes to you take a core group of talent, which is the players itself, and you put them into a brand new system. For example, the current Evil Genius lineup in Counter-Strike, the core lineup originated from Optic, which was Cirque, Breezy, Stanislaw. Stanislaw being the IGL, Breezy being the rifle talent, who is a top 10 rifler and top 20 rifler in Counter-Strike as of right now, has been for years. And Cirque, who is a Bulgarian phenom when it comes to the op, who struggles with inconsistency. So they took that core trio from Optic, moved them into NRG, built a system around that trio, and they saw middling success with it. NRG got bought out. They rebranded to Evil Geniuses. They also made a couple more roster moves. They brought in a new coach with Chet Singh. And the issue then arose where your IGL, your in-game leader, in Stanislaw had issues with the direction the coach wanted to take the team, because at one point they reached rank 2 overall after the rebrand and then fell off pretty steeply. The coach wants to go in one direction. The talent wants to go in another direction. At that point, like, general management needs to make the decision on where it is they want to put their money. Do they want to put their money in the talent, which, 9 times out of 10 is probably the way to go, and release their coach? Or do they want to say, hey, maybe the IGL is just not fitting in anymore, we're going to get rid of them, which may come at a cost that the other 2 people of that trio, they may perform poorly going on in the future. Yep. So what happened with Evil Geniuses was there was a conflict of interest where, Chet wanted to take the team in one direction, Stan wanted to go in another. So Chet left and he moved to Valorant. And I think it was a huge hit to NA Counter-Strike, because he would have been an incredible coach in any fucking system. Stan took over. They then made more roster changes, but they kept that core Optic trio. And then they brought in another coach, Zeus, which had the exact same problem with the IGL. And then he also left. So, like, there's almost like a level of importance at this point in Counter-Strike where it's like, the brand itself, what is it they want to do? Do they want to focus on the players, which is something that, FaZe has actually done a lot in the past, where, they spend out the ass to get some of the top tier talent, but if they underperform, they blame it on the coach. Or more recently, they blamed it on someone like Cold Zero, who was a 2-time greatest fucking Counter-Strike player of all time. And he's now benched, and they brought back Olaf Meister. So there's literally two different ends of the spectrum for when it comes to Counter-Strike. There are organizations that focus only on the talent, and if there is a conflict of interest between the in-game leader and the coach, they kick the coach. And then the coach just leaves. In-game leader takes over until they replace the coach. Or the talent is too much of a negativity and bringing the rest of the team down, which was an issue with Nico on FaZe. And that's why he left to go join his cousin Hunter on G2. G2 is flourishing right now because, Hunter is a talent in an organization that focuses almost like very highly around him, when in FaZe it wasn't. It was more of a system. So there's two different ends of the spectrum. I think Counter-Strike does it right. I think Counter-Strike does it wrong. I think that they, like Chris was saying, they have farm organizations like the current Gambit roster, which is number 1 in the world. Gambit was the original, or was previously the Gambit Youngsters roster, which was their farm team. But now they have Hobbit from the major winning era. So now they're the number 1 team in the world. They came from a Youngsters team. They came from a farm team. You have Ninjas of Pajamas, who's doing that at the same time. So I think Counter-Strike, they have their toes dipped in every single pool right now, but they don't, it varies by organization, basically.
100%. Depends what you want to build your team around.
Hey, that's
and
really
what you value more.
So I mean, even with that, there are organizations that value social media more than, like, Astralis at one point. They wanted to be we are the sports team of esports, and that that social media aspect of it can cloud the players, and they start underperforming.
100%. There's a mix with everything they have to do. It was a very good insight into Counter-Strike. If you have any Counter-Strike questions, please ask Bob. I know for a lot of people that probably went over your head, but I understood majority of it, but I get what you're saying.
Dom's eyes rolled into the back of his head for quite literally all of what you and I said.
I listened to all of it. I try to absorb as much as I can, but I there's only so much that will stick.
Dude, I've been waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to watch Blast premiere. Like, that's how fucking...
I woke up at fucking 3 in the morning to watch League Worlds, and I thought it was great. I don't even fucking understand what's going on.
Yeah, well, not saying. I was up at like 6.
All right, we have one last voicemail. What do you got?
Hey, boys, Coleman here. Thought I'd call in. I have to come to Chris's rescue. Dom, I always stand by your side on the sweet potato casserole as a side dish for Thanksgiving, so I feel it's only fair that I come to Chris's rescue here. If my wife would let me, I would go to Walmart. I would buy the same 7 shirts, like 7 Gildan blue shirts and 5 pairs of jeans and 7 pairs of underwear and 7 pairs of socks. I'd wear the same thing every day. A minimum.
I'm pausing that voicemail right now. Please don't ever fucking do that. Don't ever do that. You're not a cartoon character. You're not Doug Funny. Don't wear the same fucking thing every day. All right, here we go.
Fair point.
This wardrobe just takes that stress out of your life, worrying about, is my best shirt clean? Is my best shirt dirty? What am I going to wear? It doesn't matter because you have the same outfit. So I got to stand with you, Chris. Keep wearing the same thing. Don't let them break you. Be the minimalist wardrobe representative. Love you guys. Hope you have a great week. Anyway, I got a video game question for you. I'm recently replaying Fallout 76, and I'm on the PC. I have been playing it for years on the PlayStation 4. Wasn't that impressed, but now that I have a PC, I tried it out since I got it on sale. And I have to say that game has definitely made quite the turnaround. But it raises the question, like with No Man's Sky and Fallout 76, do you still try to hold the developers accountable for releasing a broken game in its state, or do you forgive and let live since they've kind of stood by their word and tried to fix their game? Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Have a great week. Enjoy it all.
That's a great question. That is a very good question.
That's a really good question, and I like to think that it's not a secret that we love the guys at Bethesda. They've always been really good to us, and we have also kind of put their feet to the fire when we needed to as well. We've done it fucking live on the show with the guys from Bethesda on the show, and we've acknowledged that Fallout 76's launch was a fucking dumpster fire, and so have they.
But then we've also acknowledged the fact that they worked on it to make it a playable game.
Yeah, 100%. And I have praised Fallout Wastelanders. They've acknowledged that the launch was not. I mean, obviously, they're not going to come on stage and go, "Well, that was a shit show. So here's a new game." They still have to put it into business terms, and they have to make sure that they protect their investment. But they're going to say, "Listen, we're owning up to it. This is a free update. We're gonna do right by everybody and give you the game that you wanted to play in the first place." And I think that they've done that. Yeah. And so I completely agree that we have to hold them accountable, especially when. But I think it's also equally important not only to hold them accountable when something isn't up to expectations, but to go back and say, hey, if you were one of the people that was heavily leaning on, being like, haha, fuck you, like this game sucked, like I didn't want to do that, nobody's gonna fucking play this shit, to give it a try if they rework it, especially if it's free.
Yeah, I agree with that. Obviously, hold them accountable, but if you are a creator in some sort, regardless of what you put out, granted, developing a video game, we've never done it. Yeah. But you can only assume that it takes a lot of fucking work. And
if I did it, I'd probably be the best at it.
Probably, Bob. But like if it comes out and it's a dumpster fire, you still have to stand by your product. And if that takes giving out free updates to actually fix that game, so be it. Will people stop bitching that it came out broken? No, they never will. They'll always talk about that. But I think at the end of the day, you have to stand next to your product and continuously make it better, listen to the community. And then like Dom said, like, if you're one of the people that hated something about a game and it was so broken and you hated it at that time, you were so pissed off, but that they went in and fixed it because they actually listened and they realized that it was broken. Okay, cool. Thanks. Let's give it another shot. That's me. Like if I have a bad experience once with a game that like I feel like isn't done yet or I hate something about it, if they go in and fix it, I'm going to try it again. I bought it for a reason and I want to at least try it out. So hold them accountable, but also acknowledge that like, they're trying to fix it, and they are fixing it. Granted, not every company does, but when they're going in and they're being diligent about what they have to fix, I think everyone deserves that second shot at it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that, to use another example, especially with Bethesda, I think that Elder Scrolls Online, I pre-ordered Elder Scrolls Online the second I had a chance.
It was not great at launch.
No, it wasn't. I pre-ordered it literally the second that it was available. I was working at GameStop at the time when it got announced, and I pre-ordered it the fucking millisecond. I was probably the first person on the Eastern Seaboard to fucking pre-order the game.
Central Midwest.
I mean, in New Mexico.
I was one of the first people in the world to get the Cool Ranch Doritos Loco Taco from Taco Bell in the world.
I was the first person in the world to get a record on CM Speedrunners from Hell.
So I was one of the first people. I was a very early adopter of Elder Scrolls Online, and the game was not what I wanted at launch. Lifelong World of Warcraft player. Everybody knows about me. You guys know I'm an MMO guy. You guys know I'm a Elder Scrolls guy. And I took a very long hiatus from the game. The one Tamriel update came out a couple of years later, and they fixed basically everything that I ever had wrong with that game. And it all of a sudden turned into one of my favorite online role-playing game experiences on the market today. Maybe one of my favorite Elder Scrolls games of all time. And I still think a lot of people haven't given it a chance because of maybe some preconceived notions about what the game might be like, or what the game was at launch. And it was definitely not what it was supposed to be at launch, but now it is so much fucking better, and it's so goddamn good. And I don't see how you could even, I think you owe it to yourself. You don't owe anything to the developer. If you paid money for it, go download the fucking update for free and play it.
I'm contemplating about playing it because now like Mikey and Eric are playing it every single day now that they both have PCs. I'm thinking about it. I don't know yet.
Guess who has a Steam code for Blackwood?
Guess who already asked for it? Dom.
You didn't say definitively that you want.
It's not fucking GTA or Call of Duty or both.
I'll get another one. We'll play it together.
That's fine. I don't even want to play anymore. I don't even want to play anymore.
Rock, paper, scissors for it.
I guess I'll play Call of Duty tomorrow.
I'll buy it. I don't care.
I will too, just out of principle. I don't want the fucking key.
Also, my point on this is, these are not things that should be like, I'm going to the grave holding this grudge for the rest of my life. It is a forgive, don't forget. basically.
Yeah.
It's like game releases poorly. Remember that. Remember that they had all this hype behind it to be the greatest game ever fucking released. But you also can't hold it against them later on 6 months down the line when they release a game that was actually better than what they were talking about. So you enjoy what they release afterwards or what the update afterwards. You forgive them for the, past transgressions, but you don't forget. So next time you go into it with, lesser expectations for
maybe I wait a little longer to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. And like, say if ESO 2 comes out, granted, new engine could be fucking perfect day one, honestly. Yeah. But everybody knows MMOs fucking day one there's always fucking issues with them. Like maybe you go in a little hesitant and you wait a week so they get that day one patch out instead of buying it, pre-ordering or whatever. So for me, it's more of a forgive, don't forget. And I think that the same exact thing goes for me and EA, where I remember everything that they did for all of the franchises that I enjoyed. I remember what they did to Dead Space. Yeah. I know how they killed so many franchises that I used to enjoy. I don't necessarily forgive them for it, and I'm also not going to forget it really, like I can still appreciate the newer things that they're releasing that are semi making up for it.
Right.
Which was, Jedi Fallen Order, literally Jedi Fallen Order.
Put the team on the back though.
It really it gave me a new breath of relief.
Put the team on the back though.
But yeah, in short, I think that it's worth. I think that if you buy a game and you criticize a game, and the game gets an update and it is you owe it to yourself to take another crack at it. I think I'm like, maybe 4 for 5 on like that actually paying off and the game actually being better.
How big can parties be in ESO?
5, I believe. If for like it's the same as like WoW Dungeons, where if you do like I'm almost positive like a regular party can be like 5 people.
All right.
So if you guys want to play, I'm on. The Legend of Peter Woos continued.
The Legend of Peter Woos, I love that. I have to be a part of that.
He's in there, you know what I mean?
You have to make a half-orc barbarian.
And the cool thing is that you don't have to be the same level at all because everything scales to you.
Ooh.
So you can be level 1 and I can be level like 38 or whatever, and we would both get loot that's appropriate for our level.
Love that.
Yeah, and like things would be just as challenging for me as they are for you, which is great because everybody has a great time and you get the same kind of level of hype when you conquer something. It's great. The game's fucking awesome. You should all play it, and it's free, which is fucking dope. So, but yeah, that's all for voicemails. Why don't we land that motherfucking train, boy? To land the train. So big shout out to everybody in the chat today. We had about like 30 people up here today, and you know what? That makes me feel great. It makes me feel nice, makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Especially big shout out to all the goddamn channel points that got redeemed for us to chug beers. Clearly, you guys don't care about our well-being or our health. But we really appreciate all of your viewership. And to have you guys here, it's really does mean more to us than just to be here with us. We could be doing this to fucking nobody, but we aren't because we have an awesome community and we really appreciate you guys. So, Bob, what do you got?
How do you say? Any of you guys check out the Solasta Crown of the Magistar? I don't know what that is.
I heard really good things. It's kind of like an auto D&D simulator or something like that. Johnny Ruber's playing that. He's made the 2 of our characters in it.
As in one of my characters as well, or you and his?
It's his character and then Rollock and Tony.
Damn. Must be a stacked party. Holy shit.
It's fucking just jam-packed. Yeah, he said it's like a simulator or something like that. It's like an RPG kind of, you create the character and then, I don't know. I got to ask him more about it, but he just started playing. He said it was great.
Yeah, I will look into that then. For YouTube's new sub, Amin O. Also new sub, Ricktastic. Peter commented on one of the Let's Play videos, 7blvun.fyi. If that's a link in the comments, please don't click on it. And then Mike commented on the anti-cheat video. Very well said. This is what I've been saying all along for having a background in IT. what this is starting to tell me that the developers might be making just as much money selling these. That's all you get.
Yeah, it's about
selling hacks, cheats as they're selling the game and microtransactions. We're going on 6 months after first year of 500,000 permaban accounts later and still nothing. It doesn't matter how many accounts they permaban, the game is free.
True.
Very
also,
true.
Shout out to Deserto and Mike and everybody who tuned in on Saturday.
Deserto.
We got fucked up and it was fun.
Yeah, it was a very good time. As to what I have, shout out to all the people that have been hanging out tonight. I know it was a little longer of a show, but there was a lot to talk about, and we started off with some technical difficulties, so we would be doing a disservice to not running on a little longer, talk about some other stuff. Other than that, shout out to the good people at Deserto. Shout out to Bob. Shout out to Dom. Episode 237. They just keep on going, and I'm happy to be here. But please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. It really helps us, and I haven't really plugged that in a while, but please do that. 5 stars. Please.
Absolutely. Big shout out to everybody. Shout out to all them good people. We had like 9 voicemails. Leave a fucking voicemail. 617-701-7678. We had a good handful of... I love when we get a good handful of voicemails. JB left fucking 2 of them. So, I love when we get a good handful of voicemails so that we can talk about, everything that's on your mind, because it's not just about us, so much, also it is Father's Day, coming up on Sunday. So just a friendly reminder that, like, if you don't like your dad, you have 3 internet dads here. I'm looking forward to getting a couple beers and having some dinner with my dad. That's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. I'm getting together with my brother Cody, who's also a dad. He's a new dad, so that's going to be great. It's going to be like a double Father's Day. It's going to be awesome. But listen, like, if you don't get along with your dad, or you have like a weird relationship with him, or like you don't talk to him, we have 3 internet dads, and we love you, son or daughter. we love you a lot, and we're here for you. So join the Discord, join the family. We love you. I don't even want to see what the follow-up comment on that is. Jess, don't follow up on that, because I know it's going to be something. But we love you. When we appreciate all of you. This has been episode 237. 237 of the greatest podcast to ever be invented. The greatest show in the history of the spoken and or written word. And we are Wicked Good Gaming. We are Not Another Gaming Podcast. We're brought to you by Manscaped, Thrive Fantasy, and Deserto. We love you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Fight!
Damn.